Welcome, Internet, to the PSVG podcast. It's your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, joined as always by my main man, Donnie Eat the Hype Reese, and the Florida man himself, Mr. Delvin Cox. How are we doing this evening, gentlemen?
Tired as fuck. But I'm doing
yes. That about sums it up. I'm trying to bring the energy with that intro because I am also tired as fuck.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Talking about
I've had a rough week, which I'll get into, but I mean, I'm happy to be here. It's been a fun week of games. I'm happy to podcast. Excited to podcast.
Well, we love you, so we're happy that you're here.
I thought about inviting a guest, as I typically do when we have like big events and stuff like that. And again, just as I talked to you guys like a couple weeks ago, I thought about inviting guests, and this by no means a slight to anybody that I would consider, but I was like, nah, I kind of just want to talk to Dad and Delvin. I don't really want to talk to anybody else. So
yeah,
I just refrained from doing so. We can knock this out.
Absolutely. You could be anywhere
Brownie
in the world.
The elf returns. I like it.
Here with us.
Brownie the elf is back, my man. I'm so excited. Did you see that, Dev?
I don't know what the hell Brownie the elf is.
Brownie the elf is the Cleveland Browns like original mascot from like the 40s and 50s, man. And when Art Modell bought the team and fired Paul Brown and got rid of Jim Brown and moved the team from Cleveland, and everybody hates him because he's Satan. When he bought the team in 1961, he obliterated Brownie the elf from existence. He was like, this is ridiculous. Like a lot of probably NFL fans are like, what is an elf? But Brownie is a real thing. It's like a real folklore thing. And I thought it was awesome. And I have loved Brownie the elf my entire life. And I have always hated being a Browns fan that our logo was a fucking helmet. That is so stupid. Every team in the league has a helmet. That is so dumb. And they had a contest. They had a contest in Cleveland that I voted in on what to paint the field. And to hell, if they didn't paint Brownie the freaking elf giant across the 50-yard line of Cleveland Browns Stadium, I'm so excited. Wow. I'm so happy. Put the damn thing on the
was
helmet.
That the Browns' original mascot?
Yeah.
It wasn't. No. They weren't called like the Brownies. They were called the Browns. They were named the Browns because Paul Brown. And if anybody, I don't need to give a Browns history lesson, but if nobody, I often get asked that as a Brown. People are like, what is a Brown? It's not a thing. They were called the Cleveland Browns for a couple of things. The original owner, oh God, I just completely forgot Joe Frazier. He was called the Brown Bomber back in the day, boxer.
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He loved Joe Frazier. And then the coach, Paul Brown, anybody that doesn't know NFL history, Paul Brown's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Before the NFL, when it was the AFL, and it was the American Football League, the Browns won like 11 championships. They were like the original dynasty that nobody remembers or acknowledges. But so they were named the Browns because of that reason. But it just so happens that Brownie is a type of elf in old folklore that the owner thought was cool. So he worked it into their marketing, and it kind of caught on locally. It's like a local thing. And then when the team was sold, Art Modell got rid of Brownie, fired Paul Brown, got rid of Jim Brown, like just destroyed everything.
So basically the Browns have been shit ever since they got rid of Brownie the elf.
That's
not
true.
Maybe
because in the 80s,
back as a return.
In the 80s, the Browns were really good.
Just
and
not
actually,
good enough to
and even
Super Bowl.
They went to the championship game like 5 years in a row. They were like the Bills.
I was gonna say. So you're like the Bills.
They were like the Bills. Yeah, in the 80s they were like the Bills, and then in the 90s, before they took the team away, in the 90s they were actually kind of amazing. But people don't remember that because all they remember is that they took the team away. But you remember, like, we hired Bill Belichick. He was our coach. If you didn't know that, and on that staff, like that entire staff of coach, like Nick Saban coached for us. Like everybody was there. Like amazing coaches. They all coached for the Browns.
Only thing I remember good about the Browns was Eric Metcalf. That's it, and that's all.
I like the Eric Metcalf.
Yeah, it was good. Good.
I love Brownie. I was so happy to see them. I want them to make it the official logo. They don't have to put it on the helmet, but make it like the logo of the team.
That'd be great, because otherwise your logo is shit.
I understand it because it's classic. I am a Browns fan, so I do believe in like leaving the helmet alone. I do like it, that it's an homage to the old guys, but I also like keeping it current. And I just love Brownie the elf. He's cool, which is hilarious because ever since they put him on the field, you have all of these national, news radio hosts and media folks that are hating it. They're like, this is so stupid as an elf. It's like, you guys don't get it at all. You know, it's like Chief Wahoo and stuff. It has nothing to do with it. Who cares? Nobody believes in a mascot. Who cares? Nobody's like, oh, we're a patriot. You know, like that's ridiculous. It's all about merchandising and branding and all that. Elf is cool.
It's like people just are anti-fun. It's like we don't want to have fun. Let's just get rid. I mean, it is the NFL, the no fun league, so it falls right in line.
Yeah, like what if we just did something super generic? Well, it'd be a dog or a lion or an eagle or something. Like, get out of here with that nonsense. No, like that. It's so cool that it's got so much history and it's so different. At least to me, I've always loved them. My wife,
cool. I like it.
My wife knows how important this has been to me. As a Browns fan, I've yelled at her forever. Like, why do we have a stupid helmet as a logo? It's ridiculous.
It is dumb.
So, how the hell did Delvin just join again?
I mean, Delvin's internet is spectacular.
My internet is good.
I don't know how his connection works. It's always a mess.
It is.
I don't know what's going on.
Constantly freezing up, disappearing, leaving, coming back. It's just
double Delvin.
I say what I say every week. It
double
only
D.
happens on one app. And it's the app we're on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that history lesson in Cleveland sports. It's very cool. I'll have to pick up a Brownie the Elf hat and send it to my dad. My dad is from Cleveland. He's a huge Browns fan, so that'll make his day, I'm sure.
Be nice of you.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump right into it. I'm just going to get myself out of the way because I ain't been doing shit. All right. I've played a little bit of The Last of Us, but that's about it because I have not had time. I have not had much of a desire. I've been extremely busy. My wife has been busy, which means I end up doing more stuff with the kids. She's just been out and about. We've been out and about. My new job has made me very tired. Being a supervisor is just a lot of work.
Your upper management.
I'm mid-level management.
You've disconnected from the people.
No, I am with the people. I was out deploying stuff with my people today.
You're the enemy.
Nah, man.
You're there to tell on them.
Okay.
You work for them. Bullshit.
I work for them.
Everybody that's ever had a job knows exactly.
Look, I'm the opposite of all of that. I work for them. I got the new laptops.
Listen,
we're out working together. It's great.
If you're out there, Devs boys, listen. Trust them at your own peril.
First of all, Devs boys don't work for me, so they know they're getting all the shits. Okay, they don't work for me. All right. My people, on the other hand, I work for people because as they go, I go. If they succeed, I succeed. So it's all gravy. But yes, I'm tired. So I have not done anything other than come home, podcast, eat, and sleep. So
how far are you in The Last of Us?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm still in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah.
It's probably my least favorite part of the game, Pittsburgh. It's good. It's fun gameplay. There's some cool stuff, but I just don't like the story beats and just like the setting and all that. Like every time I've ever replayed it, it's like I got to get through Pittsburgh. And I got to the point when I would replay it, I would just skip the chapter. I would just play up to there, and I would like skip to Sam. Like I would just kind of skip the early Pittsburgh and like skip to that, and then carry on through the suburbs and continue on through there.
I don't even remember any of that. So
but like the hotel and stuff, it's like I can keep that.
This is all like brand new to me after not playing it since it came out. So I don't.
That's the part where I went like double pump shotgun, like all through the hotel. I was like, just come get this ass whooping. Just walking around corners, just hurling Molotovs.
Oh man, Molotovs, those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now that I'm out the way, I ain't did shit. Donnie, you've got a lot going on. So regale us of all the comings and goings of which you are, and then we'll bookend you with Delvin and his Tales of Florida.
Sure, I've got games to talk about, but more importantly, if you follow me on Twitter, my wife has taken in a family of feral cats, a clouder, as I've learned.
I know all about this.
They took a mama cat took shelter underneath my shed, and my wife has been investing our money and resources and time and her energy, not mine, into capturing these kittens. And Mama, we caught Mom the cat too. Mom cat not happy. Mama cat's huge. Mama cat looks like half bobcat, like she's like really fluffy and stuff. He's like, yeah. So Mama cat is so scary that in the cage, I wanted to go give her like a tray of water. And as I don't know, I think anybody that's ever dealt with a caged animal knows that as you approach the cage, you would expect the animal to push up against the back of the cage, in defense.
Mm.
No. Mom and cat came to the cage, came to me, ready to throw hands. It's like, oh,
Nice.
scaring the absolute hell out of me.
Wow.
So we've got this cat and we've had her spayed and we've got her shots. There's a feral cat program or whatever. And then we've got these kittens that we are finding homes for now. My wife is a saint and doing better in the world, unlike me. And of course, we couldn't take in kittens without keeping one, apparently, because they look like Kirby. And because, coincidentally, they showed up a year to the day last year that Kirby died.
Wow.
I didn't believe it until she showed me the tweets. September 8th, these cats showed up in our yard and Kirby died last year, September 8th. So we are keeping the orange kitten. There's a couple orange kittens, but we're keeping one. And we named him Pumpkin. So that's, everything sounds great, right? Super fun, getting another cat and all that. We have tons of cats, all these animals. Okay, here's the bad side. I've been cuddling with this cat all week, making the kitten love me, all that. This kitten has given me a terrible eye infection.
Oh,
no.
I had to go to the doctor, the emergency room, night before last. If you guys didn't know, when I kind of bounced off Discord and Twitter for a while, was at the emergency room because I could not see. My eyes are swollen shut. They are bloodshot red. They're like
Holy
oozing mucus to like make you guys like to give you disgusting images. So if you see me like peeling at my eye throughout the show, that's why. Both of them. It's better now. Today I could work. Yesterday I couldn't even work. Couldn't even open my eyes.
Jesus.
It's like the worst kind of sickness for me because I can't watch TV. I can't watch movies. I can't play video games. I can't do anything because to hold my eyes open hurts. It burns. It stings. It's painful. So I have been given antibiotic drops and like other kinds of drops and medications to take. And I'm apparently highly contagious for 2 or 3 days. Like you're like, yo, you're not going to work.
Shit.
Do not go to work. Like, they're like, stay home, bleach,
Wow.
sanitize everything. So my week is cut on the gaming front. My week is cut a little short just because I have not been able to play. I'm temporarily disabled from video gaming. But before all of this has happened.
Well, before you move on, have I ever told you how many cats I have, Donnie?
No, man.
18.
Wow.
You are the crazy cat lady.
Well, I've told you the story. I've posted on Twitter before that my grandmother took in this one cat. The cat got out, got pregnant, had 6 more cats, and those cats multiplied, and now we have, at my grandmother's house, have 18 cats that I
sounds
have to
like
take
my
care
wife's
of.
grandma.
And
yeah.
plus, the other cat is pregnant now, so I'm going to have like 20 cats that I have to take care of. So every time I go to my grandmother's house, I have 20 cats to feed, and it is a nightmare. Every time I walk in her backyard, I'm falling over cats, literally, because they know I'm the food man. None of them like me.
Yeah.
They all like, fuck me. They
No,
don't
that's
give a fuck
Jack.
about me.
That's Jack's role. Jack hands out the food, and none of the cats like Jack, but they all follow me all around around food time.
Yes, and they walk under your legs so you fall.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. So none of them like me. They just want me to shut up, pay for the food, and feed them and leave.
Rebecca, post-infection, the cats have been thoroughly sanitized.
Wow.
Yeah. I
That's
put a picture of
cats
Twitter on 12 of them, all surrounded around the food. It's a lot to deal with, to say the least. And my grandmother's like, at one point, they were in the house.
Yeah.
And then the whole house was full of fleas.
Yeah.
Because they were
These
outside
didn't have
cats.
fleas. They were pretty good about that, I guess.
Because they were outside cats. So I had to fumigate the whole house because my grandmother had a little chihuahua and he got covered in fleas.
Yep.
This was a nightmare. So they're like, no,
this is a kill it with fire situation.
Yeah.
I flea treat the yard once a year. Our animals got fleas one time a few years ago, but ever since then, every year you can buy like this spray in the bottle and it kills like fleas. And
That's what I did.
Yeah, I treat the entire yard once a year.
These are not problems I want ever.
No.
Ever. I'll take one cat or one dog. That is it, and that is all.
You don't want 3 dogs and 4 cats? Like, I have an
Absolutely
army of
fuck
animals.
not. My name is not Dr. Doolittle. I don't want none of these animals.
My wife loves it. We wake up in the mornings, like on Saturday mornings, we sleep in, and we just have a bed covered in animals. They all just sleep in, lay in the bed with us.
I have 18 cats, 3 dogs, and a parrot. Yes.
Yeah.
None of these animals I wanted. I just inherited all of them.
No, I love my cats. I love my dogs too.
You got like 37 cars also, all in your yard. You've
That's
got,
true.
Oh boy,
9 washers and dryers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you live in a zoo, Delvin. That's basically what it boils down to. You might as well go ahead and get a bearded lady, a strong man, and a bunch of other side attractions.
Sell tickets.
And just start selling tickets.
Side hustle.
If I were to record in my apartment, all you would hear is my parrot yelling.
Oh, that's funny.
Probably saying curse words. A lot of them.
Yeah, my wife wants a parrot. I draw the line at the bird. Birds.
You don't want a parrot. Trust me when I say this.
My aunts had parrots, so
they're not good. They're not fun.
I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and make that happen.
Chat's loving the pets talk.
You go ahead and record the parrot, put it on the internet, and call it a day.
I think I do have a video of the parrot cursing and telling me "fuck you."
That sounds about right.
I'll put it on the internet.
That checks out.
God,
saying "fuck
you need a reality show, sir.
Telling me to get out of here.
From the mild climate of IRL. Miami, Florida.
Mild is correct.
Yeah, the mild climate that is Florida.
The mild.
Y'all don't get over the century mark. Yeah, y'all ain't high. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Get out of here with that.
I knew you'd love that.
90 degrees. Never been over 100 degrees one time.
Yeah.
Child's play. It's nothing.
So before the eye infection, which is better today, I was able to work today. I can keep my eyes open. It just kind of burns if I don't use I'm using my drops like every other hour. So before that, I had a great week watching sports. I'm not sure if you guys have been digging sports, but dude, the football NFL this week was bonkers. Week 1, there was like every game seemingly either was won by a field goal or went on after a blocked field goal. I've never seen so many blocked field goals in the NFL in my entire life. That was crazy. That was super fun. I'm still watching a bunch of scary movies. We're hoping to do a scary movie podcast at some point in early October. And on the games front, playing a little more 2K. Played a little. I'm not sure if you guys saw the screenshots. I played they've got the Jordan mode, which is fun. That they like pixelate and put filters over the screen to make it look old, to make it look like you remembered when you were watching on TV.
I took that shit immediately off.
Oh no, I definitely play with it like that on because I think it's cool.
Factors on there, man. That's dope.
I wanted to say, how many more times can they go to this well? I feel like I've done this in like 5 NBA 2K games.
A lot.
How many 2K games can they just continue having Jordan modes?
Oh, a lot.
Well, they'll keep doing it until it becomes a LeBron mode after he retires.
I was going to say that.
Or the Steph mode.
Can we get like
Jordan mode?
Can we get like the Dr. J mode or the Bird mode or something else?
Nobody cares about Dr. J or Bird. They're not going to sell the way Jordan does.
The Wilt mode
continues to sell.
The Kobe mode.
What they should do is they should do the Allen Iverson mode. That would kill it.
Anything. Like I just feel like we've done the Jordan thing ad nauseum. I'm over it. I'm kind of over it. I didn't finish it. Jack finished it. I didn't finish it. I played the first 4 games, and I was like, I'm done with this.
I like
I don't want to do this anymore.
It's great.
It's because he was probably beating up the calf so much it just was hurting your feelings.
I did have to play the chapter where he beats the calves, and I was like, this is cruel and unusual punishment. I shouldn't have to relive this shit. What the hell are you doing, 2K?
Yeah,
and,
it's going to keep being the Jordan mode until the Jordan mode stops selling.
I had Jordan with like 13 turnovers, and I benched him in the Cavs game. But
wow,
the Cavs still lost. And then so 2K is fun, man. I'm enjoying 2K. There is an it's not like I guess it is a mode. There's like an eras mode.
I love that mode.
But it's not a mode, it's just a franchise. But you can pick like which era to put your franchise in. And for me, I'm doing like fantasy draft as I typically do when I play career. So I'm building completely brand new teams out of all these players that I know. I picked Kobe's era, and I started building a team through there, and I was having fun. It is fun, but the players, there's like maybe 5 rounds of players that you know. And then like once you get into rounds like 7, 8, 12, 14, they're just made up generic names. Like they're not actual players. So it's like they only got
Olded Polynese in the 12th round.
Yeah, it's like they only got licenses for like 150 players or something like that. And then like once you get through them, they just kind of, you just kind of fill in the roster with the rest. But I'm having fun with it. It's okay. It's just franchise mode though. It's not. They do have like, it's the same thing as like an exhibition where you could play as a team with a roster from a different era, with a jersey from a different era, that type of thing. It's the same thing. It's just in franchise mode now.
I love it.
Can I get Fat Lever? You know what I'm saying? Does he exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
what about Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf?
Yeah. He's on my team.
Or is he Chris
Yeah, he's
Jackson?
in there. He's in there. He's real good.
Okay. I mean, he's Steph before Steph.
Yeah.
For those that know.
I haven't played it since this weekend. I don't even remember who's on my team, but I thought I built a pretty stacked team. I posted a screenshot in the Discord. I'm not sure if you guys saw it.
I
did see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got Dirk. That's right. We started this whole Dirk or KG thing. I got Dirk and Dunleavy and Chauncey Billups, I think were my first 3 picks. It's a pretty good team.
Okay. Yeah.
It was getting started.
And Chris Gatling. Can I get Chris Gatling?
Delvin didn't like that Eric Dampier.
Yeah.
I mean,
I took a center in like the 8th round. And it's like,
Yeah, that's
Dampier, he's he's all right. He's serviceable. He's a body.
Yeah, he's just a big man.
He'll get some rebounds,
Somebody's got to bang with Shaq. It's a different era.
Yeah, that's not.
There's a lot of big men in this era. This is a different era.
Don't cut it against Shaq.
I mean, nobody's cutting it against Shaq, but at least he'll be able to, just put a body out there, get a rebound.
Yeah.
Dampier was fine. He was all right.
That was my era of basketball, like the late 90s and 2000s. Like,
oh yeah,
I miss it so much. So when that mode came out, I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I don't want to play the modern era. I'm here. I'm home.
I have Jason Terry too. That's my dude off the bench.
I like that. I like that.
It was down to Terry or Crawford, and I took Terry. It's my 6th man.
I like it. That's a good choice. I like playing that era. I like playing that mode. That mode is so cool because you can pick through the 80s, which is I think it's called the Magic and Bird era.
Yeah.
Then you can pick the Jordan era.
We get Kevin Duckworth.
Jordan era. Then there's a Kobe era and the LeBron era, right?
Yes, and it goes. I think it starts at the beginning of the era. So, I was going to play.
And I do love that you can opt in to have the original drafts.
Yes.
So the players that that are in the draft are in the draft. Like I'm targeting David West. And on the big board, he's like in round 2. I'm like, I'm going to win the championship and draft David West.
Oh, man. Just thinking about the draft and how you can completely change things. That's kind of dope.
Yeah, it's
so
fun.
If you play through like the Magic and Bird era and get to where you can draft Jordan.
Yes.
We can change everything.
Yeah.
And with the 3rd pick, I make the Earth sick. MJ, fade away. Perfect.
I never give myself the first pick. That was something that threw Jack for a loop. He's like, give yourself first pick. I was like, nah, that's not how the NBA works. So I do a lottery, rotisserie draft. I was with Cavs and I had the 7th pick. And that's why I ended up with Dirk. Which I thought was pretty good.
Nice. Very nice.
Outside of that, I played some Splatoon, guys. And Splatoon's dope. Splatoon's really, really, really good.
Good.
Yeah. I was going to say, particularly, I really love the campaign. I think it's my favorite campaign. Splatoon has always had like Mario vibes in the campaign in terms of like the 3D, like Mario, like kind of platform world stuff. And this is kind of like, I have just strong like 3D land vibes with Splatoon. They have all these like little things you can drop. You can put your character on and then you can see the world out in front of you and you got to figure out how to get over there. And it also kind of has like this clean up the gunk type stuff that we've seen in like Mario games before, like Sunshine and stuff like that. So essentially, you play a little level and this is slight spoilers, but I'm not like going to go deep into the story or anything like that. Once you play a little level, it drops you into like big open area, like go in any direction, clear the world out in any direction, go to these different levels as you wish, which is a lot like the 3D Mario expansion that they did with the cat. The Cat Mario. Remember when they did the 3D Mario World for Switch, and they had like the little expansion? It's kind of like that. And I'm having a blast going through it. Unlike, I see Rebecca in the chat, and I don't think I've said this to her before as we've talked about Splatoon, and I don't think she ever likes hearing it. So I'm just going to brace her now. I don't care about the story in Splatoon at all, really. I never really have. To me, I think that's why I always kind of associate it like a Mario game. Like, the story is a story, but like what I'm really about is seeing the different mechanics that they put into like completing levels. And so far, I'm having a lot of fun with that in Splatoon. That they have different mechanics and different tricks, and they've got different little levels that require different tactics to complete, to collect all the keys, to fight all the enemies. That type of stuff, I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Rebecca, I'm not saying that it's not deeper than Mario. I'm just saying I don't care about it. Like Mario, I just kind of click through it because I want to play the game. I don't want to know all the special dark emo side of Splatoon. I don't care. I just want to play the Splatoon game. So I'm having fun with that. I did forget how much level grind is in Splatoon. I did. Folks that listen to me on Shack may remember this, probably not, but like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I did a system transfer on my Switch. I bought a new Switch for some reason, one of the mini Switches, and it completely nuked my SD card. And I lost my Splatoon 2 save. Just lost it. Just gone. There's no cloud backup. It's one of the few games that I had that didn't have a cloud backup that I couldn't restore. And from that point forward, I just never like played Splatoon 2 again. I was like, I'm not doing it all over again. So I learned as I was tweeting kind of my initial impressions that apparently there's a thing in the game where if you could import your save, you can pick up like kind of 3 or 4 weapons from the start. I didn't have that. So for me to play like ranked matches, I had to level up and grind, which I had some fun with, like for like a day playing Turf War. But I got to tell you, like, I'm already kind of over Turf War, like already. Like, I don't know. I've probably played it in like 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I've got, the basic allotment of weapons. I've got the dual splat stuff, and I've got a couple paintbrushes, and I've got the buckets, and I've got the snipers and all that. So like I'm doing some stuff. It's fine. I'm not particularly liking any of the combos. I've always liked playing with a roller, and I don't like the combos that are attached to the roller, like the sub weapons or the specials. The only combo that I really like are the dual splat, but I've never liked playing with those. But I think I'm scoring the best with those right now. But honestly, I think just overall, I just don't want to play a whole lot of Turf War, which I was a little upset about because you got to play you got to play some Turf War before the game even like really opens up. Like when you play the game, they're like, hey, here's Turf War, which is fun because they do get you in instantly. You can skip all the intro stuff. As soon as it drops you in the world, you can press a button to pop right in the lobby. Even from the lobby, you can press a button, put you right in the match. So you don't even have to like walk around and go through all the menus and shit you used to. So I do give them credit that it's faster. But that said, I would have liked to have just been able to do everything else instead. But that's not that big of a deal. I played a couple hours and then moved on. So I'm looking forward to finishing the campaign when my eyes get a little bit better. And then I would like to play Salmon Run, which is really what I feel like I bought the game for. Salmon Run is their horde mode. You can team up with a team of friends to battle bosses and stuff. Like I really want to beat that with a group of people. And then I think I might retire Splatoon 3 for a little while. And I'll probably play Splatfest every now and again, with folks. But outside of that, I just don't think I'm going to be playing Splatoon 3, for like weeks or anything like that. But again, I'm not a streamer and I don't play online multiplayer. So that shouldn't really come as a surprise to most people. Rebecca asked, have you played Table Turf? Rebecca, I told you I'm never playing that ever. I don't want any part of that. I hate that I even exist.
Hell is Table Turf.
Yeah, nobody wants that. So that's my time with Splatoon 3. I will say before I move on that the game is gorgeous. Whatever like upscaling tech that they're doing is really, really great, especially on the OLED. The game looks great. I mean, it really visual boost from Splatoon 2 in a major way. So if you've got an OLED and you want to see something that looks really good, like Splatoon 3 is definitely it, man. It's real nice. And then the game that Stealth dropped the day before yesterday, or was it yesterday? I can't remember now. Was it yesterday? Was the direct yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? Okay, so it was yesterday. Easy Come, Easy Golf dropped. You guys have heard me talk about this game before because it was called Clap Hands Golf on Apple Arcade. It's the same game. This is the game from Clap Hands, the maker of Hot Shots and Everybody's Golf on PlayStation for the last 30 years. They made an Apple Arcade game called Clap Hands Golf, and for whatever reason, they're dropping it as Easy Come, Easy Golf is what it's called now. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's slightly different, but it's the same game. I mean, it's the same game. It's just slightly tweaked differently. I think the Apple Arcade version was very much meant to be mobile, so it was meant to be a shorter experience. When I was playing the Apple Arcade version, I know when you started the game, I think you started with matches that were like 3 holes and then 6 holes. This game just drops you right in 9-hole matches. So it's a little bit different, but outside of that, it's the same game. And if you guys don't remember this at all, let me give you just kind of the short end of it. It's Hot Shots Golf. Plays almost exactly like Hot Shots Golf. Except that it is the weird part of it. It's the weird sell is it's kind of like a card collector game, like a mobile card game, kind of.
Okay.
In that you play, let's say you play a match. You're going to play a match to unlock a character. You're going to play a match to like win a tournament, right? It's 9 holes. This game assigns you a team. You collect a team of golfers and you assign each golfer to a hole. So there's like a strategic element. Like you want to maybe put your longest hitting golfer on the par 5s and your most accurate golfers on the par 3s. There's like kind of that. And then as you keep playing, you collect different versions of the team and you upgrade different people of the team. And that's really kind of the strategy. So you don't just pick a golfer and play the whole round as the golfer. You have a team of people that you're like leveling up and kind of rostering. So it's kind of like a collectathon game. Again, it's like a mobile game. But I mean, but once you get past the menus and everything, it's just Hot Shots Golf. I'm just playing Hot Shots Golf. I played it on Switch. It ran great on Switch. Visually, it's very smooth. It's very bright. It's nice. OLED looks great. The menus before you get into the match, a little laggy. Like I feel like maybe it's like this just like ran through an iOS to Switch API or something. Like could use a little polish, a little laggy. But once you get into the game, it's just Hot Shots. So if you want some Hot Shots Golf, I'll easily the best mechanically playing golf game on Switch. Not the best golf game, because their golf games have great story modes and other things like that. But if you just want, like, I want to play a really good golf game to play, this is the best golf game to play. It's $20. So, yeah, I played that. And then the last thing that I have to say, and again, I haven't had a whole lot of time to really talk about it, so we can even save this for future weeks. But if anybody hasn't been around Discord didn't know, I did upgrade my monitor. So if you see me here on the thing, I'm looking at you in a brand new monitor. I have the LG C2 OLED television now as a PC monitor. 42 inches. It's a lot. Like it takes up my whole desk here.
It's the size of my bedroom television.
But it's really thin. It's incredibly thin. I was not ready for how thin and light it is. You can one hand this TV, no problem. Yep. Having worked on it for 3 days, I've had it for 3 days now, and I've been working on it as much as my eyes will let me. I got to tell you, I don't mind the size at all. It doesn't bother me in the least bit. There's not one time I've been like, oof, my neck is strained or stiff, or I don't like this over here. I'm loving the real estate. I've got so much room to put all these windows. Height-wise, it's right about the exact same that my monitor was, but my monitor was on a riser. So if anything, it's more like I have more room closer to the desk, like down, than I did before. And it's just a couple inches left and right more than I had before. But I'm loving the picture. The picture's great. I did boot up a little Valhalla and took it for a spin, and I had a chance to play because my eyes are getting burning.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to playing some games on the PC, and I'm very much enjoying the glow up. The OLED experience. I definitely wanted OLED. I've been I was thinking about a nano cell, but there's no nano cell in the 42-inch range.
Yeah,
so the next
wouldn't be an OLED.
It wouldn't be an OLED,
bro.
I wanted the OLED.
I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before you start replacing the rest of the TVs with OLEDs.
But you never know, right? With me, you never know. So I can't tell you that I'm not. But here's what I will say: I never sit down in front of my nano cell wishing that it was an OLED. That's the thing.
OLED before.
No. My nanocell,
compared to.
the picture looks great on the nanocell. I mean, it looks amazing. The difference being is that Samsung monitor that I got is 4K, it's HDR, like it's a great monitor. It's just soft. You know, it's just like soft
because it's an IPS monitor.
Right,
It doesn't
it's
have
soft
blacks.
and it's
Your
kind of
blacks are
matte.
gray.
It's not very. It's not even just about the black. It's just it's not very colorful. You know, it's just not very appealing.
That's because of the panel and the fact that that's the one thing that I wish they would start doing, that they're actually starting to do, is adding the glossy cover to monitors. They've done the matte thing forever because of glare. But the problem is when you do the matte, it washes everything out. So you do get much duller colors than you would get with an actual glossy coat. So
I realized that the OLED, that the blacks are deeper on this OLED than they are in my nanocell, but it's not like my nanocell looks bad because of it. The nanocell looks great. I don't envision me wanting to change that out, to be honest with you. But I definitely wanted to change out the computer monitor. I wanted an upgrade for a while now, and I jumped at this opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. I've taken all the precautions that I think I can to reduce my risk of burn-in, which I've read and researched that the risk apparently is very small. These TVs, there's lots of stuff to do. There's lots of panel care and things that you can do, and those are all turned on for me. But I have my wallpapers rotating. I have my screensaver set to 2 minutes. So if my computer goes without 2 minutes of activity, my screensaver will pop on. I've minimized all of my UI. So my taskbar hides, everything hides automatically. And the pixel refresh and the pixel movement, everything is turned on. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I hope it's not a problem. Yeah, I think so. But you guys look great. Crystal clear. You guys look amazing.
Great.
So,
Delvin, tell us about your week. What's happening in Florida?
Well, I can talk about a little bit more 2K. I love that game. It's so good. It is. I love the Jordan mode. I know they keep doing it again. I want them to give us more modes of other players. Give us Scottie Pippen mode. Give us
Scottie Pippen mode. What?
Yes. Give us Allen Iverson. Give us Steph Curry. Give us all the other players that we can use. Like, it's a fun thing. WWE does the same thing when they're like, hey, here's the Rey Mysterio edition where you can play as Rey Mysterio's career and stuff like that. Why not do it with other NBA players? Hakeem Olajuwon. Get all their good moments.
Dude, NBA 2K24, the dream. NBA 2K24, the dream.
2K sells with anybody. You can put anybody on 2K's cover right now.
We should do it. They should do a Dream Team edition.
That would be cool.
That would be sweet.
Where you do the entire Dream Team, like from start to from the loss, where you play as the amateurs, from the loss to the establish of the Dream Team. You play all exhibitions, everything, the whole nine.
That would be really
That'd be
cool.
dope.
Yeah, it'd be good.
But it's so much fun. I like the whole. You can play your kind of franchise mode. Cause that's the real reason why I play NBA 2K anyway, for the franchise mode. You can play which generation you want to play, whether it's the 80s, the 90s.
I want the Charles Oakley edition.
He just comes out
the Anthony Mason edition.
Just all of his fights.
Oakley and Mason. Let's go.
Just thug straight from the get-go, man. He's just mean mugging on the cover. He's just
go punch Samson Cassell. That's the objective.
Take him out.
Let me get the Sprue edition. Just have him choking PJ Carlissimo on the cover.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's great.
Adam Morrison, no, God, the stash.
What are you guys doing?
That's bad. But yeah, I love the game. It's not reviewing well apparently because people are very upset about microtransactions. But at this point, you already know what you're getting.
Don't buy them. Just don't buy them.
The Malice in the Palace edition.
I like that one. Ooh.
Stack.
You can just press a button and then you just run in the crowd and fight fans. I like it. See, now we're talking.
That is some WWE 2K stuff.
Yeah.
But it's great. People, like I said, the people say you don't get enough points and stuff like that. But that stuff doesn't really matter unless that's the only mode you're playing. If you're playing that mode where you have to go buy sneakers and all that stuff, then I can
Jack plays that mode. Jack does that.
Does he have a problem like getting points? Because that's what people say. It says not giving you enough points.
I don't think he knows enough to know. I think he's happy to grind. Like he's down to just play, and he'll just take the really slow increments because he knows I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah,
He came to me one time and he was like, "I'm trying to get like this jury." I was, "Get the fuck out of here! You're not buying that." So yeah, he knows. He just he just grinds. He's happy to grind.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm fine with grinding. I understand.
He just likes playing. He just likes playing.
Yeah,
and he plays the online mode, and I don't ever do that. He's all into it. I didn't even tell you the story. I completely forgot. I got to interrupt you. I caught this kid playing 2K fucking 2 a.m. when it released.
Oh yeah,
last Friday.
Nice.
I woke up and had alerts on my phone of all these achievements. And I totally let him bury himself. I showed it to my wife, and she was like, "Huh." And I happened to be up, and he was getting ready for school, and I was like, "Hey, Jack, did you sleep well?" He's like, yeah, Dad. It's like, bet you did. I was like, is your room clean? He's like, nah, I'm going to clean it later. I'm like, you need to clean your room before you play 2K, right? Like we talked about that. You can't be playing 2K before you clean your room. He's like, yeah, I'll play it when I get home from school. And I just looked at him, and he just looked at me, and he got like this weird smile on his face, and he was like, you already know, don't you? I was like, of course I know. What the hell are you doing, man?
Did you do like Chris Hansen? Did you say, have a seat?
You see how this looks? You see how this looks?
Just you show him the phone. You see how this looks, right?
See how this looks, man. Yeah, so he had extra chores to do before he got to play it again. Because apparently he stayed up all night and went to school and was like cheery as could be too. He wasn't grouchy or anything.
That is you.
What? That's not me.
Being up, playing games, and then somehow making it and going.
Oh, well, I guess. No, you're right. Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. They're
hitting golf balls at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
If there's anything else you want to say, now's the time.
I've got the transcripts.
Playing Bong Ripper 420.
I didn't show him how, because that was what he wanted to know next. He's like, how did you know? I was like, don't you worry about how I know.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like, none of your business, okay?
I get my son the same way. He was trying to tell me some shit. Oh, yeah, I'm doing schoolwork. I say, motherfucker, I see exactly what you're doing. How do you know? For me to know and you to find out.
That's for me to know. Kids.
Yeah, they think they slick.
Anything else you're playing, doing?
Well, me and Dev played Among Us, and that was fun.
We sure did. Yeah, we had a great time.
We had a great time in this stream playing Among Us and killing people brutally. We had a lot of fun, me and Dev. One of the few times I had fun playing multiplayer.
Our friend Crystal Storm, friend of the podcast, in case you guys actually want to see the Cookout return, it has his own podcast now. Yeah, our friend, like I said. Yeah, so we have the Cookout is now all blurred everything, and Crystal they have their own like podcast network where they're creating audio dramas, and then we're doing a fundraising thing for that, like a 12-hour stream. So of course, me and Delvin, we showed up, and we jumped in and played some Among Us and had a great time. We raised some money for the cause. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I didn't get to kill Delvin, and that made me very sad.
Yeah, but on the bright side, me and Dev worked together as a good serial killer team. Surprisingly.
Yeah, we did.
Killed everybody and got away with it scot-free.
Sure.
Who would have thought the black people would have got away with murder?
It was great.
It's great.
D&D, baby. Murder.
Now, one time we played as a team, I thought we were going to rip each, like we're going to tear the team apart. I was like, I can't be doing this with people.
Oh man, if you would have heard the conversations, like we were going at each other. It was great.
Yeah,
but it was all in fun. Like
everybody was a simp. Everybody was a simp for Rebecca. I was sitting there screaming. Everybody was like, I watched her do it. They're like, yeah, right, Donnie. I'm like, what the?
You were caught in 4K. Oh my God.
She can't do no wrong, apparently. Everybody just, yeah.
We were playing, and I actually caught her murdering someone on camera, and nobody wanted to believe. I was like, dude, I caught you. Oh, like, sure, if that's what you want to believe. I was watching the camera and saw you do it.
Right.
Yeah. So much fun. Mm-hmm. So much fun.
It is.
Among Us is great. It's a great game.
It's a great game. I enjoyed myself.
That VR is going to be bonkers. I'm not going to play it, but it's going to be awesome.
I'm not going to play it either because I won't have VR, but I just
Right.
want that to be the new version of the game. Like, I don't,
It looks
this
so
first
good.
person Among
First
Us.
person
I don't need it in VR.
yeah.
Yeah,
Be
That's
awesome.
true.
Well, that does it for that. Donnie, let's get into all this news.
We have a hell of a news block. But first,
Whoa, player. Whoa, player. This is your ass, player. This is your ass, player. You don't know nothing about this, player. Oh, shit! Damn! Whoa! Been a long time. Oh, watch it. Here we go, watch it.
we've got a lot of news
Yeah.
this week in the news block. Let's start with the big Nintendo Direct. Nintendo did hold their Nintendo Direct. We also, obviously, every time we have a Nintendo Direct, I always give Nintendo Shack a plug. If you want every single game and every breakdown of everything, you need to make sure you tune into the Nintendo Shack live at twitch.tv/PSVG on Friday nights. But we will cover at least some of the highlights. I did write down my personal highlights. Fire Emblem, Engage is what they started the show with, which is very exciting. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, which I want to talk about a little bit. Octopath Traveler 2, Sparks of Hope was shown again. Wave 3 Mario Kart Tour courses are incoming. Pikmin 4 was kind of, I guess, re-announced because
I have a
Pikmin was
funny
kind of
story
alluded
about
to
this.
before, but Pikmin 4 came out, and then they did show Bayonetta again. Hang on a second, Delvin. And then the other gigantic news that they came out with was The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So please, Delvin, go ahead.
So, I was sitting in the living room watching the PlayStation Direct while my son was in the room catching up on the Nintendo one.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear him screaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I walk in there, and he thinks it's the trailer for Pikmin 4. But it was the trailer for like the Pikmin mobile game thing.
Yeah, Pikmin
And
Bloom.
when he saw it bloom, his spirit just was crushed. And I
was
took so much joy in that.
It was a great troll. They had Miyamoto come out. He talked about the Mario movie. He talked about the amusement park. And then he went on to talk about Pikmin Bloom for way too long. I'm sure it was like a minute, but God, it felt like 4 minutes. It was just constantly going. We're like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, this is terrible. It was a great troll. Because,
it was fantastic.
Dude, like, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but like 6 years ago, he announced that Pikmin 4 was like done.
Yes.
Like, he was like, yeah, we're done. It's good. And everybody was like, so when are we releasing? He's like, we'll release it. And then just never heard about the game again. So I'm sure it was like redone or reworked or whatever. I'm very doubtful they've just been sitting on a completed Pikmin game for that long. But who knows? It's been like if you're following like Nintendo news sites and commentary, and you're watching Game Explain predictions and stuff like that, you've heard Pikmin 4 forever, right? You've been hearing this prediction for years, and it did finally come true, so which was pretty fun. I want to talk about a couple things, but let's get some of the stuff out of the way first. Just get through some of the announcements. Nintendo Switch Online announced Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, Pokemon Stadium, 1080 Snowboarding, Pokemon Stadium 2, Excite Bike 64, all coming to Nintendo Switch Online. And then GoldenEye 007 coming to Nintendo Switch Online with online play. You can play online, which I want to get to in a minute. So let's put a pin in that. Any of you guys care about any of these Nintendo Switch Online announcements?
I remember liking Pokemon Stadium, so I'm definitely going to try that one.
Pokemon Stadium's great. And it's going to be very exciting when it does come out. I'm sure, as Kyle says, many online games when. Kyle, I have no idea when they're going to come out. Like, I'm sure they're going to drop, one a month over the next 8 months. So we'll see when Pokemon Stadium actually drops. Some of the other stuff. We did find out about an update for golf coming to Wii Sports. There's 21 holes. There will be an 8-player survival golf mode. However, this entire mode has been delayed from fall to holiday. So, who knows? Nintendo Switch Sports golf mode could be November, January, December, February. Like, holiday could be anything to Nintendo. There's a bunch of games that I wrote down here. I'm not going to read them all in the absence of time. But are any of these games something you want to talk about? I'm going to highlight them. Any of these games right here. Sifu's coming to Switch.
Cool.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core is coming. All the Resident Evil games are coming via the
only
cloud.
thing that I cared about from this was Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion. That's all I cared about.
Nice. And that's coming to everything.
Yes.
Rebecca, we're not going to talk about the 8 farm games that were shown ever.
What the hell is A Wonderful Life?
It's some farm game. And I was laughing because they showed I have no idea. Because I think in my mind, all of these games are the same. They run together. But I swear to you, they showed one farm game and then they showed another game and then they showed another farm game. And my tweet was like, didn't they just show this game? Like, wasn't this that they just did this? But yeah, we're not going to talk about any of those. Delvin,
Never
you got
played
anything
a
else
Harvest
on
Moon.
this list?
Don't care.
I think it's cool that the Resident Evil games, even if it's cloud, is coming to Switch.
Nice. So the Nintendo
DLC is coming out late, isn't it? For Resident Evil 8?
Yeah, it's coming out a little after. In all honesty, and I'm sorry, Nintendo Switch fans, when they say cloud on Switch, out of sight, out of mind, I never want to hear about it again. Like, no, I'm not paying $50 to play a streaming cloud game on Switch. So listen here. If you're into Harvestella, Rain Code, I will go ahead and say it. What was the name of the game she wanted us to say? A Wonderful Life?
Yes, like the movie.
Story of Seasons, right? Any of these games, listen to the Nintendo Shack on Friday. They will cover it in great detail.
Yes,
they will.
So
we will not.
I want to get into the actual news. So let's start with Fire Emblem Engage. I was very excited. There have been rumors that a Fire Emblem game has been done for some time. This one's interesting. Neither one of you care about Fire Emblem, right?
I like it.
Okay, so maybe you've got something to say here, Delvin. This one's interesting. A lot of people, like, the immediate reaction was like, oh, it's not a sequel to Three Houses, and it's not like Three Houses. I rewatched the trailer. It kind of is like Three Houses. There are these 4 realms that center around like a religious center. Just kind of like it, like just in kind of philosophy and design. It's kind of like Three Houses. The difference being is that it kind of has like this heroes thing. I think that might be the thing that's rubbing people off, is that there are returning characters from other realms, from other universes. This is kind of like, the metaverses of Fire Emblem, if you will. You can call back Corrin and Marth and Lucina and stuff from other games to help you. And I'm sure they're going to have story reasons on how this is done. I think they said that like you can equip armor or something like that. I hope it's a little bit more than just like a blade and Xenoblade. I'm hoping there's actual good story reasons. Knowing Fire Emblem, I think there will be. But that's kind of rubbing some people off. I think initially. Delvin, did you notice that? Did it even bother you?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I
Okay.
kind of looked at it like, I want to say, is it Final Fantasy Tactics that do that? Where it pulls in special characters from other games, and like, oh, you can play as these characters.
I haven't played that game in so long. I wouldn't even know.
But yeah, I like the idea of it.
I'm excited to see returning characters. I think it's a cool way of kind of promoting Fire Emblem. And it's kind of not a spin-off, because in a lot of ways, I'm very excited about this game because what I saw tactically on the battlefield was classic Fire Emblem, and that excited me. That's what I wanted to see. I saw villages, I saw bases, I saw strategy on the map being done. I saw classic UI. It looked like classic Fire Emblem, which, if you remember, for those of you that listened to me on the Nintendo Shack and when Three Houses came out, that was actually something I was kind of missing. I even remember at the time, I was like, I kind of hope they would release a classic Fire Emblem and then like a Three Houses Fire Emblem, a classic Fire Emblem, and a new Fire Emblem, because while I love Three Houses, this is great. It's not my favorite by any means, but it was great. I definitely enjoyed it, played all of it. I didn't get that tactic itch. I felt like the battles, like it just beat up everybody. Like I was just beat up everybody to win. Like there were very few battles that made me really think. Now I don't play on hard like Garrett. So I'm sure, like, obviously, if you want that, you could up the level. But in previous Fire Emblem games, when I played Awakening or Fates or anything like that, I actually had to think about where I was deploying my units. And in Fire Emblem Three Houses, I didn't as much. And this looks like I will again. And that excites me. I was very excited to see more of that. And then, let's see if there's anything else I can think of. Oh, I just think the game looked great. Like, just visually, it looked like a large step up from Three Houses. I hope that's what the finished product looks like. Three Houses is not the prettiest looking game. It's got great style, but like visually, it's not like the smoothest or, sharpest game out there. It's a little edgy. So I thought this game looked great. Everything's very colorful, very poppy, very bright. All the characters look great. And the story, they were talking about like every 1,000 years you have to fight the dragon. I guess you're going to have to call on your friends to fight the dragon. It's kind of like Awakening, if I remember. It's kind of like an Awakening similar type thing. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Fire Emblem. Comes out, I think they said January or something like that. It's like soon, like early next year. So yeah, Fire Emblem Engage is a collector's edition. Looks amazing. Next game, I'm going to get super nerdy on you, and I don't think either one of you care. Do either one of you care about Fatal Frame?
mean more than
I actually do.
Eclipse?
You've
Do
already
you?
Yeah, I like Fatal Frame. I haven't played it since 2, I want to say.
This game, I want to say is special to me because this game was written and scripted by Suda.
Okay.
If you guys didn't know that.
I didn't know
This
that.
game I have followed back in the Wii days. I have followed this game for years. And back in the forum days, the MTTG days, and the early before that, I was constantly talking about Mask of the Lunar Eclipse getting ported over to Wii U. When they when they announced Fatal Frame 5 coming to Wii U, I was like, for sure they're gonna port Lunar Eclipse. I kept thinking that all the dots lined up. Suda game, No More Heroes, loves work with Nintendo, marvelous. Like all of these dots check out. They're doing Fatal Frame 5. They're using the gamepad. There's no way in hell they don't port this game. And a decade later, I just gave up. Like just after years. And if you've been around PSVG since the beginning days, since like pre-Nintendo Shack days, there's probably a few podcasts back then when I talked about it. I know I have because when the rumors for this popped up, the first thing I did was message Kevin. And he was like, holy shit. I was like, look at this. 11 years later, here we are. This game might finally come over because I've been telling Kevin this game's coming over forever. So yeah, being a Suda fan and liking Fatal Frame. I don't love Fatal Frame. I don't want to act like I'm a Fatal Frame fan. But liking Fatal Frame, I definitely always wanted to play the Suda one. It has really good reviews. I've watched people play it on YouTube. There is a fan translated version that you can buy off Etsy. I almost bought a Wii copy of the game to play just to play on Wii. But I never did. And this looks great. It's a full remaster. It looks like it's in Fatal Frame's, Fatal Frame 5's engine, or Maiden of Blackwater. I always call it Fatal Frame 5. And yeah, I'm very excited for that game. It's just next year. I'm going to play it on Steam. My wish list on Steam. And sorry guys, my eye is just killing me.
Sorry about your eye.
But I'm very excited. If you can't tell, I've wanted to play this game forever, and I hope it's good. I hope it's better than Fatal Frame 5. I didn't like Maiden of Blackwater a whole lot. It was okay, but not like great. We relied too much on the gamepad. Better as a game on its own. Sparks of Hope continues to look amazing. I'm not going to do a whole lot of Mario Karting. I am going to get Pikmin 4. Pikmin's great. Pikmin's amazing. It's a super fun game. It's a great little filler game. And Bayonetta. Are either of you going to get Octopath Traveler 2?
Didn't get
not when it comes out,
Octopath
but I'll get it
Traveler
later
1.
on.
I thought you did.
No.
Who am I thinking of?
I mean, it looks like a game that I would enjoy. I just know
Jason,
I don't have
maybe.
the time for that. Jason definitely got it.
Yeah, I know he got it. I know a lot of people got it. I thought you did.
I have.
I wanted to, but I didn't
maybe
want
that's
to play
what
it
I'm
on the Switch. And I realized that I don't have time for these type of RPGs at all.
I got you. It's a great art style. It's amazing art style.
I love the art style. I love the way all of these games look, but I just know there's no way in hell I'll ever play them.
So those are the kind of like the highlight announcements. The other highlight announcements before like the two news topics that I want to talk in more detail is Kirby Return to Dreamland's getting a remake. And I'm all about that. Kirby has had a great year. So I'll be buying the shit out of that game. Yeah. So let's talk about GoldenEye, guys. GoldenEye 007 is coming back. It was announced coming to Nintendo Switch Online. When Nintendo ran that trailer in the direct that was coming to Nintendo Switch Online, Rare on Twitter said, and it's coming to Game Pass. This has been a little confusing. So here's what we know. GoldenEye 007 is coming to Nintendo Switch and Xbox. The Xbox version is an improved version that'll run at 4K. They did specifically mention dual stick controls. I imagine the controls are coming to Switch too, like the same control scheme, but we'll see. I think they're the same version. There's been a lot of speculation that the Xbox version is the Xbox Live Arcade HD remaster that leaked last year. It doesn't look like that's the case from the screenshots. It looks different. This looks like a touched up, like an emulator running touched up filters, like smoothing filters and stuff over it. So I think it's the same version. Obviously, it'll run at a higher resolution and probably slightly better on Switch, but the Switch version I think will run like all the 64 games run on Switch. It'll be, sharpened and all that. The Switch version has online play, which the Xbox version doesn't. And so I've heard a lot of the best theory that I've heard about this so far is it's how Nintendo does online play. They don't have servers and lobbies or anything like that. They do peer-to-peer connections. So when you jump into Nintendo Switch Online and try to play online Mario Kart or Mario Golf with other people, your system connects to that other system. It's like you're playing multiplayer together just through the net. That's probably why it's not super great. When we played Mario Golf together, it sucked. Like it was not an enjoyable experience. So who knows? I don't want to throw it under the bus, but I'm under the impression that maybe GoldenEye 007 probably maybe not the best experience on Nintendo Switch Online. I still think, however, knowing that, I think that's a fine excuse. I think if Microsoft wanted to do online, I think they would have, because heaven knows they do online with everything else. So I'm going to say unfounded speculation. I think Nintendo just wanted to keep online for themselves. We've talked about the ridiculous licensing agreement that is ever taken to get here. It looks like Nintendo has possibly, now this isn't unfounded. I saw journalists and media folks talking about this. This is not my idea. There's been several speculation that the reason that the Xbox version isn't the Xbox Live Arcade remake is that maybe Nintendo didn't want them to release that version. Maybe they didn't, maybe that version couldn't run on Switch, or maybe they didn't want to port it to Switch, or maybe just Nintendo just didn't want to do it. They wanted to do it this way. And then the only other concession that Xbox can make was to just run the same version. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But personally, I'm not going to play a whole lot of online anyway. I never was. So personally, I don't really care outside of it just sucks. I kind of wish, I know a lot of people would want to play online with friends, and I kind of wish everybody could. But I'm definitely going to and you can still play with cheats and stuff. I just wanted to do zappers and paintball and big head and run around and slap the shit out of people and be stupid with GoldenEye for a weekend. That's really all I wanted to do with it. But what do you guys think?
It's kind of a monkey paw type situation. I think people who want to play GoldenEye kind of want to play online. I think people's memories of GoldenEye is playing with their friends. I don't know too many people who talk about the actual story.
You can
of
still
GoldenEye.
play local co-op on
Who
Xbox.
the hell has friends that?
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, me and Jack, I do, but yeah. I'm just pointing it out there. You can still play.
Yeah.
locally.
I don't want to sit in a room with nobody and play video games.
No, I think it's a
That
good
time has
point.
passed.
You're right. People do want to play it online. There are people who are very upset over this.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like it's just I don't know too many people who play GoldenEye.
Maybe
for the story.
You guys tell me. Maybe I'm a shill for Xbox, but if Xbox wanted to, it's not a matter of it can't be done. Obviously, we've seen what Xbox.
Oh yeah, clearly it can. It's not a. I mean, if this can be done on Nintendo Online, it can be done online. Period.
And I've seen people say, well, Xbox system doesn't work the same way. It's like, dude, come on. If Xbox wanted to give it servers and lobbies and matchmaking, they would. They just did it with Quake, and Quake has crossplay with Nintendo. You can play Quake remastered on Switch with people on Xbox. I don't think it's a Xbox can't matter.
Right.
I think it's a Xbox isn't allowed to matter personally.
Yes.
But maybe that's me shilling for Xbox. I don't know how other people receive that info.
No.
I just think, oftentimes when you're speculating things, like the simplest thing is often the thing. And that to me feels like the simplest thing is that Nintendo probably wanted to keep something special for them. Yep. And this is how they're doing it.
There's definitely some kind of deal in place to keep them from allowing them to have online on Xbox. Like it doesn't make sense any other way because clearly it's not some kind of technical limitation. Again, if Nintendo Online can have online play, everything under the sun can. So there's absolutely nothing else than just a simple Nintendo said no.
And I feel backed up by the fact that it's apparently it's not the Xbox Live remake that leaked. See, if it was that version, I'd be like, well, where's the online? Because you can obviously make it. Like the fact that they're releasing the emulator version, knowing that they have a remake that they're not releasing, makes me think that they're not. It's like a you're not allowed to thing. I think that math checks out at least. Look, it's all speculation. Who knows? But I feel like that math checks out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like going to what you said, Delvin, that nobody talks about like the campaign mode of it or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, we love the campaign.
Yeah,
we would just throw on Donkey Kong, the big head modes and paintballs and run through the campaign. And then once we had enough for like a 4-player match, we'd play 4-player and call it a day. Put some proximity mines on the body armor and call it a day, you know?
When this was first leaked, it's always seared in my brain because I know Elaine was like, nobody's going to play this. And I was like, I'm going to play the shit out of this. And she was like, no, I think she said, I think her words verbatim were, nobody's going to play this beyond a weekend. I was like, you're right. But I like having those for a weekend. Like I played Turok 2 for a weekend. I played Quake for a weekend. Like these are great. You know, it's a great way to play these games. And I'm definitely going to play it for a weekend, play through the campaign.
Is it only coming to Game Pass or can you buy it?
You can buy it. Here's the funny thing. If you own Rare Replay, they're giving it to you. Like you just get it for free. So it's on Game Pass. If you own Rare, I think it's digital. You have to own Rare Replay digitally, and they're just giving it to you. It's just going to show up in your library. They're basically adding it to Rare Replay is what's happening.
That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
I won't touch it.
I'm very excited.
I will say this. I do want to try it to see how it controls with dual sticks.
Yep.
See if it feels better.
Look, they have to make sure
that
that's how it plays.
Remember,
hang on,
or will it just feel normal?
Hang on, I have to say this: it has to run dual sticks on Switch, right? I have not seen that confirmed anywhere yet. I've been looking for it.
Why? Why the hell would it not?
Have you played Nintendo 64 games on Nintendo Switch Online? They got some weird mappings, man. You gotta like hold it on Zelda. You gotta hold the trigger to use some C buttons and shit. Like it gets a little wonky. It does. I'm just saying. I think it will. I'm not saying that it won't. I think it will. But we know.
I don't
We've
have
all
a love
seen
for
how
the Nintendo 64, so I have no desire to play any of those games.
It's gotta have dual sticks. They did say on the blog, on the GoldenEye blog website, it did say, I think it says specific on Xbox. I think it says the Xbox version is in 4K, and I think they specifically mentioned it has dual stick controls. And I was like, it better. Because I won't want to play it because I have it. I have it on my Nintendo 64 right there. I have my Nintendo 64 upscaler. The reason I don't play it is a bitch to play with C buttons. Like you back in the day, you knew how to run all over the place. You pick that up now, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like it is ancient in control scheme. So I'm more or less looking forward to it just playing on a modern control scheme. Yeah, I'm more excited about that than anything else. Okay, the next big topic was Zelda. Let's talk about Zelda. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, finally has a name. Was releasing May 12th, 2023. We've got a date. This thing has been dated, and before we even get into the trailer and all that, I'm so excited that I can now like look forward to the Zelda game. I'm not going to rule it being delayed again. Every Zelda game gets delayed, but typically when they date them, they hold. So I'm so excited that we can look forward to playing a Zelda game, and I don't have to play the math of, well, where does it fit in with the next Switch or the Pro or the fall or the next year? Like we have a date. So now I can just be excited to play Zelda. So I'll write down some notes. Again, listen to the Nintendo Shack. They're more knowledgeable. They'll have more to say about this. I did a little digging. There's endless speculation about the Zonai, which I don't know anything about. Rebecca knows all that. Go listen, Shack. But in the picture, there's like this, there's like these cave drawings, like paintings, and there's a person, and there's particularly like 7 symbols around them. And I've seen it speculated they could be 7 dungeons, could be 7 sages, like we've seen sages in Zelda before. It could be tears, like the tears of the kingdom type thing. Could be that. So it looks like there's something there that might give us some kind of inkling over the world or the plot of the game. Also in the paintings, we see like this giant large battle. Nothing new. We've seen that before with Zelda. Moblins, Bokoblins, they're all fighting over there's malice and stuff like that. There's some other figures in the painting people think is Ganon and Zelda. And then I think more importantly, it's a very short trailer, but there is a lot in there if you slow it down and really dig through it. But it's a very short trailer. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. But we saw several glimpses of the Sky Islands, which we've known about since last year, but now we actually see them. And we've seen Link hop off of them and supposedly ride up to them. So in the trailer, he runs and jumps off the edge and he falls to the sky. And we think that's how he gets back down to the ground level, which is not a mechanic that's new to Zelda. We've seen that in Skyward Sword. But there's also apparently this rewind time mechanic that he can jump on. What I get the impression from the trailer is that there are these islands in the sky that are crumbling. They're collapsing. They're falling. There's pieces of these islands falling to the earth. And then when you find one of those pieces, you have like a rewind time mechanic that you can jump on that piece and ride it up to the sky. It looks like that's how he might get up there. And then we also see him like kind of fly like on a machine. So maybe there's some flying mechanic in there as well. Do either of you care?
I'm interested. I'll try it.
You'll try it?
Yeah, I'll give
If
it a
it
try.
wasn't on the Switch, I'd play it.
I know
Oh,
people think I don't like Zelda games. No, I like Zelda games a lot. It just didn't like the last one, but I'll definitely try. I'm always going to try a Zelda game to see how I like it and get a feel for it.
I mean, I love Zelda games. Everybody knows that. So I'm all in. I gotta say, I'm not like particularly excited. I'm not hyped to like go back to the Sky thing. Skyward Sword's not my thing. I never really liked it. And it's not just the sky. It's kind of, I always look at the sky as kind of limiting. And maybe it won't be. Like, what if the sky is treated like dungeons? Then I'm okay with that. But I want the open world part of Breath of the Wild to still be there. And I think that's what it's not that I'm not sold on. It's just that I haven't seen it yet. Like, what is the ground like? What is the world? Like, hopefully it's more than like what we know from Breath of the Wild. Hopefully it's different. Hopefully the entire world has changed and you're still doing stuff on the ground. You're doing shrines. Like I still kind of want that Breath of the Wild loop, and maybe the sky thing is its own thing. But if it turns into more of like a linear type thing that you go to the sky to do like the new stuff, I think that might be a little disappointing just for me. Only in the sense that the Breath of the Wild part is what I liked. And I hope the sky doesn't take too much focus away from that.
I'm kind of the
Far
opposite.
Cry
I kind of
Zelda.
wanted a little
That's what you
linear.
want.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted a little bit more linear. Tell me what to do in terms of that type of stuff.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen either way. I'm not saying linear.
Not completely linear, but a little bit like, hey, this is what you got to do. Yeah, I kind of like a little bit of that structure.
Yeah,
I'd much prefer a standard like dungeon crawler Zelda, like light world, dark world, overworld, underworld. The hell with these damn shrines. Just I want to go to a level.
The shrines
I want to get the compass. I want to get the map.
Oh,
I want to get the big
We
key.
did that. We've done
I
that
wanna
100
get
times.
That's the only Zelda I want to play.
We've done that 1,000. Then go play one
I
of the
just
ones you've already
wanna-
played.
I want grown up pretty version of that. That's what I want.
I do too, but I just want a good story. So I'll definitely try it if it has a good story that can pull me in.
And I don't want people to hear my thoughts and thinking that I'm being negative or critiquing it. I think it'll be there. This game's been in the works for years. So I think there's stuff there. I think they're purposely holding things back because they don't have to sell us on the game. We're all going to buy it anyway. So
I don't think they're thinking you're being negative. They think Dev's being negative.
Okay,
Oh,
I just want to be clear.
Oh, yeah, I'm the negative one here.
Yes,
we don't
you're not
have
the
we
negative.
don't have a lot of. I just want to be clear. We don't have a lot of footage of the game at all, and the footage that we have is a lot of the sky. You know, so like that's the only thing I'm saying is like we've just seen the sky part, which I get is the new thing. I get it, but I just want to make sure that the rest of the Breath of the Wild is still there too. I hope it's not like the same world with the sky. Like, oh, that's not what I want.
Do we need a lot of the footage though?
It's
No,
not
that's what
even
I just
called
said.
Breath of the
Yeah, that's
Wild.
what I was
No.
thinking. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's called
no.
Tears or something.
They're holding
What
it
if
back.
it's a whole different place?
They're being mysterious. Remember when the first game launched? I don't think they showed barely anything beyond the plateau. Like they're just holding it back. I think they're just they just don't want you to know about it yet. Because that's the whole thing about Breath of the Wild is its discovery. You know, like it was going out there and finding the things. That was the hook. Because once you've played it and beaten it, the second and third, I've played it 3 times. The second and third trips aren't as magical because you know where everything is. You know, it's the finding part that you know, the discovery, like what's over that hill, what's over that mountain. That's the part that you want to have. Yeah. It's great.
Frustrating. Annoying.
You need to get good.
It's not even get good. It's just like
Yeah.
this is a big ass empty place and I'm running
Right.
forever.
Awesome. It's full of everything. Moving on. The next, God, this show is going to be forever long.
The last
Yeah.
couple have all been 2 hours long. So Let's
we
just
had
keep going.
The Ubisoft Forward. We had a recap. So let's see here. We saw Mario Rabbids shown. We'll talk about that. We've already done it. They did show a little Division Heartland, and they talked about the Division 2's new expansion season, whatever. I continue to be intrigued to buy Heartland. I think that's a good move for the Division. I think it might be
What is
Ubisoft's.
Heartland?
It's free to play Division.
I don't. So you say that you think it's a good. You think
I
it's a
do.
good thing for the Division. I don't understand why you say that. Like the Division, like people really enjoy the Division and still play the new content when it comes out. So I don't.
The reason I say that is a couple things. It's a couple reasons. I've always thought that the Division felt like kind of like a service game. It's kind of like a live service game. And they keep updating with expansions and stuff like that in seasons. And it's like, we'll just make it free to play. They already kind of make the Division free to play. They super discounted that game and put it for free like 1,000 different places as fast as possible. So I kind of like the idea of them doing a free to play, like a centered, focused free to play thing that everybody can jump in on. We know that Ubisoft is trying their damnedest to crack a game into that market. I feel like this is the best foot forward that they've tried to do this with so far. I like this a lot better than Rainbow Six. I like this a lot better than Hyperscape. Like I think the IP, the game, the loop of the game, and like the design of the game fit that model better than their other games.
I wonder if it's gonna split the actual Division player base. Like, are people going to play the new like season expansion and Heartland, or is Heartland gonna die off while people play the season stuff? Because people really enjoy the Division 2. Like the people that I follow on Twitter, that are also Destiny people. Like Division 2 fits right into that mold. So I'm just wondering. My
only counter to that would be like, Destiny's free to play and they still play. And then the other thing I would say is like Warzone is free to play and people still play Call of Duty and still buy Call of Duty too.
So I'm wondering, like, are people going to play both? Because again, Destiny doesn't have a both. Like, it's you buy the expansions and you just keep every year there's a new expansion and you play and you get the seasons. Kind of the same way Division 2 does. There's a season pack, you buy the season pass and you keep playing. So I'm just wondering if there's going to be a strong enough player base for both games.
We'll find out.
Curious.
I just think it's, of all the free to play things that Ubisoft's tried to launch, I think this one and what they showed I thought looked pretty good. Like, I'm not a Division fan, but I've played it. We've played together, played with Sean. Like, I have it. I've played it a bit. Yeah. And I just think it works. I think this works better than their other attempts. I'd much rather them do this than live service, free to play Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or something like that. Personally.
I agree.
We talked about Just Dance. It's not coming to Wii this time. It's getting a whole UI overall. Trackmania is coming to consoles. That game is nuts. Have you ever played that game on PC or anything? Trackmania, have you seen it played? It's bonkers. It's wild. They did announce that they're bringing 3 mobile games to Netflix. Valiant Hearts 2 apparently is a Netflix exclusive.
That's weird. That
breaks my heart. I love that game. And I've always wanted them to do it, and they're doing it on Netflix, and I'm never going to play it. Mighty Quest, which I've never played, and an original Assassin's Creed game will come to Netflix alongside a live-action Assassin's Creed series.
I'm here for the series. I'll watch that.
Dope. Hopefully it's better than the movie.
The series is long overdue. They should have made Assassin's Creed series.
Movie sucked.
I never saw the movie.
It's not good. Cool. Don't save yourself.
That means I'll probably like it.
They did release a documentary, Assassin's Creed Beyond. I got really excited watching the Ubisoft Forward because I love a good documentary. It's not a documentary. It's a 12-minute YouTube video, and it's not very good.
They had the audacity to call a 12-minute video a documentary?
Yeah, it's 12 minutes. And honestly, the trailer in the Ubisoft Forward kind of showing the legacy of Assassin's Creed and showing you all the assassins and hearing different people talk about, like, that 3-minute clip was so good that I think that 3-minute clip is better than the 12-minute documentary thing they tried to put on.
Wow.
So now let's talk about Assassin's Creed. As we've talked about on our spoilers and rumors section for a few weeks now, we did finally see Assassin's Creed Mirage, featuring a young Basim in an ancient Baghdad. It comes out in 2023. Other reports have been spring. They didn't say, just 2023. There's a $50 asking price. So this is not a full retail release. It does have a collector's edition. The developer said that the main story will take between 15 and 18 hours, which I wrote 15 because you always take the less on that. No mention of the rumored Assassin's Creed 1 remake yet.
Boo.
So stay tuned. I have pre-ordered the collector's edition. What did you guys think of Assassin's Creed Mirage?
I like it.
I'm
I
here
like
for
what
it.
they're saying. I like the whole idea of, hey, this is a 15-hour to 18-hour game.
Go back to your
Like-
roots.
It's a return to the roots. I'm here.
How do you
for
like
it.
them
Thank you.
charging $50? I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna.
I don't care.
I love it.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna argue to pay more, but at the same time, we've talked about this in the past, right? Like, I think it's okay to charge retail price for your game, even if it's shorter.
Yeah, I agree. I think
it's a
an
little-
interesting move because
It's a little
of,
dangerous to set the precedent that we're kind of
Mhm.
charging based on the hours of time. I don't
Valhalla
necessarily like
size,
from them.
70.
Yeah.
Mirage size 50.
50.
Like it's
That's
just
weird.
I
just
think
make
it
them the
makes
same
sense for what
price.
they're doing.
Just just pay for the game.
I
Just
think
make
it
them the
makes-
same price
uh,
because you're paying for just a good game. Like it shouldn't have anything to do with the length of the game. Because here's the other part: when you know that like Valhalla is gonna get, or sorry, whatever the next big game is, it's probably gonna have some kind of
Let's talk
season
about
pass
that.
or something. You're gonna pay more money for it, so it just makes more sense to just make them the same price,
But I think
regardless of how long the game is.
I think they think that people will see, okay,
Yep.
we gave you Valhalla for 70. Now we're going to give you this exact
60.
Okay, $60. Yeah, we're going to give you this game for the exact same prices, remarkably shorter. But they don't want that backlash. So I
And then we'll
understand.
give it to you for $15 if you just want to play it for a month.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's a good point, Delvin. I think you're right. I'm with you. I think it sets a bad precedent. And we know how, I don't want to use the entitled word, but we know how gamers can be.
Yes.
We see it with The Last of Us. Like, we've seen it. And I just think you're setting yourself up in the future.
Yeah,
Like, once
they
you
are.
go down that road, you've got to stick to that. Which
'cause now
might
you're
be
gonna
why
expect every Ubisoft game that's not Valhalla size to be $50 or cheaper.
Exactly. Where's the line? What if it's 30 hours? What if it's 40 hours? What if it's not 100 hours? Like, that's the thing. It's
Mhm.
weird. It's a little weird. We got those rumored projects. They did come out. Assassin's Creed Codename Red, set in feudal Japan. This is
That's
the big
racist.
This is the big RPG Creed. Unlikely to arrive in 2024. I gotta say, I thought it was maybe a little sooner than that. So this might
When
be
I saw
2025 or later.
I just stopped paying attention. I was like,
Yeah, it's smart.
2020.
It could be a while.
Out of sight, out of mind.
And then they also lifted the veil on Codename Hex, the occult flavored Assassin's Creed game. This will be a different structure and, quote, not an RPG. So the Salem Witch Trials game might be, I read into this, might be more like Mirage. They did say that it'd be different structure.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
that's weird.
means.
What does that mean? Yeah. What the hell
It's
does
like
that mean?
episodic? Is it linear? Like, what is that? What does that mean? I don't know. They didn't
This
say.
is their shot at a Telltale style AC
I don't
game.
think that. I think it's like Mirage. It's like Mirage. It's a shorter game.
Shorter game.
Then they announced Codename Jade, an open world Assassin's Creed game set in China, coming to mobile with touch controls.
Nope.
No, thank you. That's the Daniel special. That's
I'll play
for
it.
you.
I'm assuming you can play with a controller, and I can play it on my Chromebook, and I'll play it. I'll give it a try. I love Assassin's Creed. They did announce the last chapter, the final DLC that's free, coming to Valhalla, which will feature returning characters and special historical figures. And the whole little Assassin's Creed part of the show was amazing. It had tons of nostalgia and tons of throwbacks. It was really well put together. One of my favorite Ubisoft things that they've done in recent memory. I thought it was really, really good. So they talked about Assassin's Creed Infinity, and like it's going to be this hub for the game. And to quote from the IGN article, Assassin's Creed Infinity is set to act as the future hub for Assassin's Creed games and will feature, quote, current day Animus content. And they're also looking into bringing back standalone multiplayer experiences to Infinity as well. So there will be no current day Animus stuff in the games. So as you're playing, Jade or Codename Red or Hex, as you're playing those games, you're not going to have like current day pop into the Animus, you're in modern day stuff. They're saving that for like the Infinity part of the hub. I want to ask you this because we've talked about this for a long time. We've talked about this in Assassin's Creed Infinity thing for like a year. And every time we've talked about it, I always bring up Destiny because it's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of like a hub and an expanded game. So let me ask you this. So we just saw that they're announcing multiple Assassin's Creed games, right? So Assassin's Creed Infinity comes out. Let's just say it's Project Red. It comes out with Project Red. You buy it. You buy Project Red. You boot it in. Does it load Infinity on your thing, or is that like a separate thing that you can opt in to do? If you don't want to, you can just still play the game. And then, like when Hex comes out, say a year later, the next Assassin's Creed game, do you buy that game and put it in? And does it like just load back into Infinity? Like, does it direct you to the hub, or I'm very confused how that works.
I don't
how does it work
understand how
in
this
Destiny?
is supposed to work at all. Well, Destiny, there's no hub. That's the thing. Like
Destiny 2 is the hub. There's just a bunch of expansions to Destiny 2.
Yeah, it's a bad comparison when you think of it that way, because the same way Destiny 2 works is the same way like any other MMO works. You load the game. If there's a new expansion, it's just a new place for you to go.
They don't sell the expansion differently, do they?
No.
There's no like, here's the new expansion on the shelf.
No.
Right.
You buy the expansion, the game updates. Even if you don't have the expansion, the game still updates to just the latest version. You just have places that are inaccessible.
Right. And I
don't know how that's supposed to work with Infinity. I don't know. Maybe you buy Infinity. Do you buy Infinity? Because that's the other thing. Like,
that's the thing.
What's the base that you buy to be able to load into the other
do
stuff?
Infinity as like a free thing that maybe they launch like a free to play multiplayer thing in, and then when you buy other games and you install them, I think you can either launch them from Infinity or from your UI.
Yes,
that's what I'm thinking.
I think Infinity is probably a free app that you download.
Yeah.
And you can buy games out of the Infinity app.
I'm wondering if it's something you don't even have to mess with if you don't want to.
Yeah, you probably don't have to mess with it. You could probably, like I said, you probably can go in the Infinity app and buy the game. And once you buy the game,
what the hell was that app they had for Assassin's Creed back? They had this weird like companion app. I want to say it was Black Flag.
Times where everything was.
So
yeah, everything
I'm wondering
was
if they're trying to bring back something like that. Because no, thank you.
It makes sense if they're going to launch multiple like multiplayer experiences, like set in different eras and stuff, to have like a hub for that. But it does get weird if they're going to have separate products listed. And who knows? Like maybe when I put in my Assassin's Creed Hex disc, maybe I'm not going to have a disc. I'm going to buy it digitally. But maybe when I put it in, maybe it does just load the game into Infinity, and maybe like you just launch Infinity again, and there's a new thing in there that you didn't have before,
like Call of Duty. Because when you load Call of Duty, there's war. It's a hub.
Yeah,
there's Warzone.
That might be a better way of looking at it.
Call of Duty. There's the other stuff. So maybe it's like that. But then when you start throwing in current day Animus content, like how does that look 5 or 6 years down the road, and you've got like 8 games? You got like 8 or 9 games in there. Yeah, a bunch of like that doesn't work well. I don't think. I don't want to load all that. I don't know.
That's weird. It's weird.
And then what? Yeah. And then why do you have current day Animus content in the hub? Like,
dude,
what do you mean by that?
I was so upset to see how many people I follow. And I've nuked my Twitter account, so I'm really only following people that I really like and respect. How many people that were applauding that were so happy? They're like, get this shit out of our games. I'm so tired of it. I'm like, what? That's some of the best parts.
Yeah, man.
Apparently people are over it. So I'm not. I love the Animus stuff. I think it's some of the best parts
of
Valhalla.
I love what they established with the original trilogy of Assassin's Creed. I enjoyed the modern day stuff and wanted to see where that was going, because it felt like there's 2 overarching stories going together, and eventually they were going to converge.
Yep.
And
Valhalla takes that in Infinite, because you have the Valhalla part in the modern day, but within Valhalla, you go back further in time and it all carries together, which sets up Mirage. And it's just, Valhalla's nuts. It's bonkers like that. Okay, moving on. Xbox has shown off a new console UI, and it's rolled out to Alpha Insiders. You can see it now. The plan is to roll it out in 2023. This does bring the updated UI kind of closer to the Xbox TV app that we've seen with the Samsung launch and everything. And have you guys seen this?
I've seen an image of it.
No.
I'm not particularly happy about it.
I've heard.
Oh.
Now, I don't want to judge it. It's in beta. The subject to change, right? Like they're not releasing until next year. All kinds of shit can change. But I don't like what we've seen. Like just at face value, what we've seen now, not a great start. What they've done is they've recentered everything. So everything is back in the blocks, which is kind of what we have now, but it's right in the middle of the screen, which is a lot like the Xbox One originally designed. The Metro design is very similar to that. And then at the top, there's a search bar now. So you don't have to go to the store app or anything. You can just search directly from there and find stuff that you're looking for. Find either on a hard drive or in the store. That's a good thing. There's a settings button there because apparently they said that their testing is showing them that people are having a hard time launching the settings app. So that's there too. And then as you scroll down, so now on Xbox, for most people, not everybody, but for most people, they have groups that you can pin to your home screen. You set it up however you want. So mine, I have set up all of my new games are at the top. And then I've got my favorite games, and then I've got games that I want to try, and then I've got a Game Pass app that's pinned, and everything is in the order that I want. I got apps that are pinned. Everything's in the order I want. The UI that they've shown, that we've seen, is nothing but a gigantic Game Pass advertisement all the way down.
Oh,
it looks like the pins are gone. Like you can still group things, but you have to go into your My Games and Apps to see your groups. You can no longer see them on the homepage. So when you scroll down from that original, because I should have said first, the top row is your recently played games. So the first 5 tiles are your most recently played. But once you click
things there,
right? But once you scroll down to the next group, the next tab down, it's like recent new additions to Game Pass. And the next one's like action adventure games on Game Pass. The next one, multiplayer games on Game Pass. The other, it's literally just Game Pass. It's like the Game Pass app, which you would think I'm all for.
I hate it.
I love Game Pass, but no, I'm not. I hate this. This is not the UI that I want. This is a step backwards, in my opinion. I hope that this is not going to be the case. I hope when they roll this out to people and start getting feedback, I hope everybody writes to them like, this is shit. If I wanted to see all of those things, all of the categories that Game Pass has, I would open the Game Pass app and I would look for them. I don't need you to make me view them. It's very Netflix. Just in design. If you recall how Netflix kind of tabs their stuff and how you see them, it looks like they're taking a page from Netflix's design, which is honestly a way of saying that Netflix is kind of like that design has been adopted by like everybody. They're like Xbox isn't alone. All content things seemingly kind of have that Netflix design. Like Tubi does that. Amazon Prime's new stuff is kind of like that. Like everybody kind of follows that design now, and it kind of looks like that. And I'm not a fan. I'm not. It's not my favorite thing.
Sounds very cluttered. I don't like it.
It's not cluttered. It's clean. It's just I love customization. I want ownership. It's my desktop. It's my homepage.
Yeah.
It's my UI.
What I mean when I say cluttered, I just mean there's a bunch of shit, and
it's just advertising. Nobody wants advertising on their screen.
No.
That's what it is. It's a shit ton of advertising. Is what it is. You would think that was like, oh, Donnie, that's all the news. No.
But wait, there's more.
It could be better. Sony held a state of play not the same time, but the exact same day as the Nintendo Direct. And we've got all kinds of stuff to talk about. So let's see here. Rise of the Ronin is a new action RPG from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. Oh, cool. It's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, like a lot of people are saying that. Not as good, but similar. Yeah. You getting that, Dev?
First of all, I saw 2024 and
you just out of sight, out of mind?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Gotcha.
It's so far off that it looked like Assassin's Creed, honestly. Like that's what I thought of when I saw it. Then I saw the date. I was like, oh, I'll just wait till they actually show me something else, because
Team Ninja makes good games.
They do.
But, I feel like we have enough samurai ninja games. Now, when I said that in Discord, you and somebody else told me that couldn't possibly be true. But I feel like every event that we've seen for the last year have all had a samurai game. So I'm kind of over it.
That's probably true.
Yeah, you said samurai game, not a ninja game. There's a difference, all right? There's a difference.
Okay.
This is another samurai game. So we've got plenty of samurai games.
True.
I'm mid at best on this right now. But again, it's just so far off that I don't care.
Hey, maybe it'll come to Plus or Game Pass or something, you know?
I'm sure.
We got a new story trailer for what was formerly known as Project Eve, now titled Stellar Blade. Delvin special.
Yes. People have sent me images of this game.
Kevin sent me an image of this game, and it was interesting because he was like, hey, PlayStation, I was watching it, so I thought it was funny. I did screenshot that I was watching and sent it back to him. But
you put all the stuff in the Discord.
Yeah. I try to keep up, and nobody else is doing it. Somebody's got to do it. Yeah. So he was like, hey, this is a new Bayonetta game, which I thought was interesting because I don't think it's Bayonetta at all. But I understand why people might say that. It's kind of a sexualized, girl fighter action adventure. Like, I get that. But to me, when you evoke the term Bayonetta, you got to bring the crazy. It's got to be chaos. It's got to be anarchy. I didn't get all that. Chaos. I would say like Nier, maybe Scarlet Nexus. It's kind of like anime, sci-fi, action game. We'll see if it gets to Bayonetta. Like, if you're saying, hey, it's a Bayonetta game, I need to fight God. Like I need the screen can explode. I need the angels raining down. Blood as Satan is in the background. Like if you say that, you got to bring it with that. And I don't think this went that far, but I guess maybe some people might think it's Bayonetta-ish. I also don't think the combat was Bayonetta-ish. Like I said, kind of near. I was getting near vibes.
So you know how normally I would want to play these games with like the localized Japanese track or something? I cannot stand the high-pitched female anime voices. Oh my God, it was driving me nuts watching this trailer. I was like, please, God, make it stop.
This is Delvin's game of show.
Oh my God.
No, it's not.
I wanted to enjoy this game. I wanted to be like, yeah, I want to play that. But they kept being voices and they kept talking. And the more I heard the game, the less and less I wanted to play it. I'm like, oh my God, get this off the screen.
Hear that, people? Wow. Dev doesn't want to hear women talk.
Not those women. Not these high pitched.
Delvin woke up and saw ass. You haven't heard ass and turned that shit off. You're like, no.
I did. I said this has to go. I cannot deal with these voices.
Dev said, get in the kitchen and cook. Stop talking.
No. I said I need you to sound like a woman and not a child.
We got another trailer for Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not interested in this game at all, but I thought the trailer looked great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, this is
so funny.
The best trailer that I've seen of the game.
And I was like, this is what God. This makes me not want to play. I felt I had the exact opposite.
That checks out.
As you, I was like, ugh. Oh, this looks stupid.
We saw Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition for PlayStation VR 2. Okay. Demio reinvents game night on PlayStation in 2023. Okay. Nope. We saw the first look at PlayStation Stars coming with digital collectibles. They're not NFTs.
Nope.
Yeah. Embark on a brand new dystopian adventure in Sinduality. I thought that game looked kind of cool. It's neat. Still nothing. Okay. This one I'm excited about. Legit. Pacific Drive. They showed it's a survival game that you play in the car. Like it's a survival game that you drive around in. And they show like this, I don't know, singularity event where there's monsters and acid raining and shit. And you've got to like manage your car and everything to, I guess, get somewhere for safety. I thought it was a neat take on something that we've seen a lot of. We've seen a lot of survival games. I don't think anybody's been like, but it's like it's a survival game, but you're the car instead of the person. I was like, that's neat. It's different. It's probably more compelling, like moment to moment gameplay and driving. Like you're driving instead of like foraging. So it's neat. I'm interested. I'm not gonna like pre-order it, but I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing if it reviews well. Maybe I'll play it. And then let's get into some more of the meat of the thing. Show kicked off with Tekken 8. As they start a new generation of Tekken, and I thought Tekken looked great.
It does.
Personally, I was like, this looks great. This looks amazing.
Are you excited for Tekken in general?
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, well, any of you a Tekken fan?
I would not say I'm a Tekken fan. I've bought a couple Tekken games. I like Tekken, but
never liked Tekken. I don't like 3D fighting games. I've never been a fan.
Oh, I
since
do.
Virtua Fighter. They're slow. They're no.
Well, people got mad at me because I said people got mad at me because they had a list of saying remove one, dumb list they make, remove one game from history. They had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and Smash. I'm like, Tekken gotta go.
Yeah, I think
Tekken
how,
can get though.
How do you get rid of Tekken? Like,
I think
easy.
most people would say that. Yeah,
Those people were telling me the opposite. Like,
that's not a hot take.
People were like, you should have got rid of Mortal Kombat. Like, fuck you.
What?
I like Mortal Kombat.
Right, but like we're not talking. I think you could make a different list where Tekken is an easy stay. Right, you could fill that out with Virtua Fighter and King of Fighters and all kinds of shit.
That is the list Tekken needs to be on.
Right.
Tekken's
Dead
good.
Alive.
Tekken's really
You're
good.
talking about Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. That's a step up.
Yeah. Those are the ones.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Smash.
I don't think I would, to answer correctly, I don't think I would ever pre-order a day one copy of Tekken.
Okay,
but if I walk in GameStop and there's Tekken on sale, it's $20. Yeah, I might get it and mess around and try to beat up Jack for a day or two. Yeah, it's fun. I had Tekken on Wii U. I had Tekken on
just cause.
Jesus.
Damn.
Fuck Tekken.
Damn. Okay, moving on. They revealed Dragon Ishin out February 2023. As I understand it, that's a remake of an old Yakuza game that only released in Japan.
Oh,
apparently on PS3.
I like the Yakuza game, so yeah, I'm down for that.
There was an RGG event today, I think overnight. I think more or less people that make Yakuza, where they announced Like a Dragon 8. It's coming out in 2024. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, is coming out next year. Judgment and Lost Judgment stealth dropped on Steam today. And then it was kind of announced that Sega is dropping the Yakuza name from the franchise.
What?
I wonder why.
Yeah.
But then again,
that's why you're getting all of the Like a Dragon and all the other things. I don't think we're going to get like Yakuza something. They'll have like different names.
Judgment is kind of Yakuza.
Right.
they just changed the name. It's essentially Yakuza.
So there's a lot of Yakuza. I got to tell you, I'm not into Yakuza. I've played them. They're not my thing. I actually had a hard time understanding what announcements were which. There were so many Like a Dragon things in different places of the internet. I was like, wait a minute. Is it the same game or these different games? I don't understand what's happening here.
Like a Dragon is the RPG one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's the turn-based one.
That's the Garrett Bland special.
The star of the show, we got a new God of War Ragnarok story trailer, which was pretty awesome. And then there was a limited edition God of War Ragnarok DualSense controller announced.
That controller looks good.
Yeah, I don't think so. Shocking nobody. I don't think so.
I like it. Well, you don't like the PS controllers anyway.
I really don't. And I do think that's a large part of it. But when I think of a God of War controller, like that is not what comes to mind. That is not it. I don't want the wolves. I want the little baby wolf and the dad wolf. I don't care.
It's like they did.
I want
the
badass.
Minimum.
I want awesome.
They did
like
the
what?
bare minimum. They're like, let's get some colors. Let's
like
throw
it's
a logo
just
on
blue.
there.
It's not like a theme. Like I was like, they
did nothing.
Not great.
They said, let's throw some paint.
I didn't say it in the Discord. I didn't say it on Twitter because everybody loves it, but I don't, and I'm not going to tell you that I do.
I'm with you. It was garbage. It was trash. It was basic.
It's not nearly as good as like the God of War controllers that we've seen, like the mock-ups that we've shared when we were talking about doing themes or PS5.
Mm-hmm.
It's not half as good as any of those.
Nope.
Yeah. And I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to say it as a topic of conversation, but I don't even know if I even agree with myself. But part of me thought like maybe it would have been a good idea to make that an Edge controller and like launch it with like a theme
is what
thing.
I was hoping it would be.
And then they were like, it's just the DualSense, and I was like, that's kind of a bummer. I was like, that's kind of a bummer, but I mean, I get it. Most people don't want to pay a lot of money for a theme controller. Like a lot more people would rather just buy the theme controller than the extra controller. Yeah. I just think it would have been a cool way to launch a new controller is all.
Right. You launched a new controller with the new hot game, kind of like when you have the Gears of War Elite 2. You know, let's go ahead and show our really like our our game we're putting on a pedestal with our new hotness controller that we want to get you to get. Like, it just would have been such a better, like, here it is.
Yeah.
Get the new Edge with God of War.
Yeah.
I would have rather had faceplates. Don't like the controller.
Yeah.
Delvin,
That's
tell
for
us
basics.
what's got you hyped up for it.
I
Don't
like
let
it.
us ruin your parade.
It's a simple design, but I like how it looks. I think it looks cool to me, but I wouldn't get it. I have 3 controllers as it is already. I don't need more controllers.
Yeah.
I have my
I've got
Captain
2.
America.
I've got 3. Yeah.
PS5 controller, and I have my
I
black
need
one.
another one. The amount of times I had to recharge it trying to play The Last of Us. It's like I need 2 of them just to play.
You don't have
That's so interesting.
the charging base?
No, I mean I can't charge it while I'm using it. Right, I'm using it and the battery dies. I gotta wait for it to charge back up so I can use it again. Or I gotta plug it in. I got
you only
a damn
got one
cable
controller.
stretching across the thing. Yeah, I only got the one.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true.
2.
I have 2, but I have the other one synced to my PS2 through the adapter, and I don't want to undo all that just to use it.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I need another one just so I can play PlayStation 5 games.
That's so funny. I've never had my controller die, but I don't ever play any.
Yeah, you don't
longer
play
than,
the
like,
long sessions.
3 to 4 hours.
Like that
that's-
big playthrough of Last of Us, I had to recharge the controller 3 times.
How long were you playing?
I don't know, maybe like 9 hours. It didn't die,
Interesting.
but like it got down to where I was like getting the
It's
notification.
like one.
So I needed to
Mhm.
change it.
Yeah.
You
Interesting.
know, you charge it.
I had to recharge mine, change it when I was playing Horizon.
That's the only time that I've brought this up every time anybody's ever asked about it. That's the only time that I ever wish that you could use batteries. Like I do like the fact that Xbox allows you to, they give you the option, right? I have controller packs, I have battery packs from Xbox. When my Xbox controller dies, dude, it's like swap battery pack out, keep playing, it's no thing. But with the DualSense, like I gotta charge it. I now have to plug it into something. It's like, this sucks.
Yeah,
At one point you would have
3.
laughed at me because I have the portable power batteries. So at one point in The Last of Us, I pulled that out and plugged my controller into it. So I was sitting in my chair with a portable battery pack for my PlayStation controller.
I've done that before. I did that before when I didn't have another controller charging. But yeah, now, like, there's always a controller charging. So
Yeah, that's why I say I need another one because that's how I used to do it, and that's how I've done on PlayStation 4 forever. So I have one charging while I'm using one. You just swap them out. I'll try to get through this quickly, as quick as they got through this. There was the D23 games event. Little recap. Bithell Games is making a Tron visual novel. That's the Thomas Was Alone folks, right? Mike.
I
Mhm.
don't think Dev cares about that.
I don't care about that, and I
I
Thomas
love
Was
Tron,
Alone.
but I don't care about that game.
Right. Skydance New Media game features the worlds of both Black Panther and Captain America. The game will star Steve Rogers, Captain America, Azuri, and a World War II era Black Panther, Gabriel Jones, a U.S. soldier who's also part of the Howling Commandos, and Nonali, a member of the Wakandan spy network. The currently unnamed game will be headed up by Amy Hennig, which we've said 1,000 times at this point. And they did have a little tagline in the non-trailer trailer that they had that said 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war.
I'm kind of excited for this. I think it's going to be cool. I'm a big Captain America fan and a big Black Panther fan. So
Were you
This
excited
kinda
for
could be
what they
awesome.
showed? Because I was let down. I watched this event thinking that there was a trailer for this. All of the lead up
Yeah.
and speculation was like, you're going to see Amy Hennig's game, thinking that we would get like a legit trailer. Didn't mean it had to be
they just
gameplay
showed some
trailer.
picture.
I just thought we were going to get a trailer. And we didn't even get that. We just got like a scene and then like some words, and we're moving on. And Amy Hennig's name. Again, apparently all you have to do as market a game is just say Amy Hennig. That's all the marketing any game needs. We've been hearing games associated with her we've not seen for a decade. And I know that's rude and mean, and I don't mean to be that
No,
way.
it's not. It's
just like,
honest.
I expected to see a CG
Something.
trailer of
Anything.
what this game
Something.
is.
Anything.
She did say it's a story focused single. Has anybody said it's a single player game yet?
I haven't heard that, and that's
I
also
think-
what I was
Because
very
the
confused
4
about. I was like,
heroes
is it-
part 2, I was like, oh, is that a multiplayer game?
Yeah, I was very confused.
I
I
don't
hope
know.
it's not.
I'm thinking it's like Uncharted, when you have one player always with you and
Is there any?
you play
no.
as one.
Okay. Maybe.
So you
Maybe
play
you're
as Cap, and you've got your Howling Commando. You play as Black Panther. You've got the Wakandan Spy. So it's
Yes,
just
and to be clear, it's not T'Challa. It's
Yeah.
T'Challa's grandfather. So it's the older Black Panther. In the comics, he's the one who beat Captain
Okay,
America
Ryan
in
with the
fight.
assist. We should have Ryan on the show. I would be down to have Ryan here. He says they confirmed in the interviews it's single player.
there you go.
So there you go. Be excited.
I don't know that I'm excited at all. Honestly,
I'm not.
I
I'm
am.
excited. I'm happy. I don't want to be the person raining on your parade, Delvin. If you're excited, damn it, be excited. I'm happy for you.
Well, it's Delvin. He
You
likes
get that.
everything,
You
so-
get that Captain America controller, and you can go, man. But no, I'm not.
Goddamn right.
I wonder
He
if that
loves
game.
everything.
Even,
He's gonna love it. It's gonna be. Great.
That's what our over under should be. Does that game ever see the light of day? Over under. Do we ever play
Oh,
that
yeah.
game?
Not at all.
Well, see, no. Will we ever play that game? We won't. Delvin will. I'm not. I'm
It's
not.
not coming out, so no, I won't play it.
Pokemon Go developer Niantic is making a Marvel themed AR game.
No, I don't give a shit
Next.
about this
Next.
at all.
Marvel Go. Midnight Suns.
Don't
December
even- next.
2nd. Marvel
There you
Snap
go.
is coming
Next.
to PC. Lego Skywalker
Next.
is getting deal. Sega Classic Games is remastering Gargoyles,
That's cool.
just like
I didn't even know
the
there
Aladdin
was-
and Lion King and all that.
I didn't even know there
Yes.
was a Gargoyles game.
Ryan.
As much as I love
Yes,
Gargoyles.
it
Is
was
that
for
game
Super
any
Nintendo.
good?
I remember it being really good. But
I don't
those
even
games
remember it.
at
I
around that
love
time were pretty good
Gargoyles.
I
platform
don't
games.
even remember it. Villains are coming to Mirrorverse.
Who?
Fuck about
Dreamlight Valley is
That's
getting
the Disney
DLC.
villains.
Avatar
Don't give a fuck about
Reckoning is MMO shooter.
Definitely don't give a fuck about that. That can fuck
Frontiers
off.
of Pandora was shown again. That's a Ubisoft Avatar game.
Fuck off.
Marvel World of Heroes, Aliens Dark
All
Descent.
right. And
Disney's-
moving along to the quick hitters.
All right.
Yeah.
That was the E3. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a
Whack.
disappointing. I thought it was a disappointing event personally.
I agree.
I was like, this is not it. Like, I don't know what they thought they were doing, but this ain't it, guys.
Yeah, that was just
like the trailer for Secret Invasion.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that was
about it.
cool. Like Secret Invasions, like that's great. But this the games thing, just
Yeah.
didn't quite hit.
Mid-tacular.
343 Industries, the Halo studio head Bonnie Ross is leaving after 15 years to attend a family medical issue. She mentioned in her leaving snippet that she was going to leave after the next, I guess, big update brought the game back together, but she's leaving early now. And Microsoft has announced that they are restructuring 343 and leadership team. So Pierre Hintz is taking over the studio head. Brian Kosky will become the GM of the franchise, and Elizabeth Van Wyck will oversee business and operations. Coming out today, David Berger, who served as the lead developer for Infinite's ambitious Slipspace engine, is also leaving the studio. So we talked about Halo and its current state last week on the show, and I said that some accountability was needed. And I'm sorry that I'm obviously sorry that there's some sort of family issue that Bonnie Ross is dealing with, but I thought this move was probably coming with or without that. Not to lessen that by any means, but I thought this move was probably going to need to be happen anyway. You can't do this to Halo. You can't do this to Halo. It's been
What do you mean you can't? They did.
right, and you can't keep doing it. Like that's the thing. You can't keep doing it and keep your job. You just can't. I'm sorry. It's just unfortunate. I wish it was different, but it's not. It's almost been 10 years of this. You know, like that's where I don't think a lot of people have really like gleamed on, like latched onto that. It's almost been a decade of doing this to Halo. That is not okay.
Look. Here's the easy fix. Sell it back to Bungie. Put Halo on PlayStation.
Easy fix it, let it do it. Let them do Halo.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3 has smashed software launch records in Japan, selling 3.45 million copies in 3 days. This isn't the highest selling Switch game. This is the highest selling any game in 3 days in Japan. That's a monstrous launch in Japan.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's
I almost didn't believe the tweet when I saw it. When I woke up, I was like, "What? That's insane. That's like lifetime sales of something in that market." Splatoon smashing success already. PSVR 2 impressions went up today. Delvin, did you dive into any of that?
No, I'm not doing that.
Really? They
Really?
had the
I'll wait.
Horizon
I'll
game,
wait
and I saw a
at
lot
this
of people
point.
doing it.
I thought if anybody was going to be
Right.
diving into the PSVR stuff, it was going to be you. You failed us.
It was too many impressions out there. Every site I saw, hey, we have PSVR.
It's called a media blitz. Just pick one. You don't have to
Well,
watch
I
them
know.
all.
Like this right
Pick
now.
one.
I thought for sure you'd read at least one.
I didn't want to watch. I didn't want to watch any of them.
Wow.
Like none of them.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, I didn't dive in. I gave them like a quick scrub just to kind of see it, but I'm not interested in VR anymore. I just don't think I have any interest in the idea of VR anymore. So I'm just kind of out of sight, out of mind.
I've never had an interest, so I definitely
am,
pay
but it's
attention
like
to it.
at this point, I'm like, I can wait.
Be $700.
Right? And then
David
go up
Harbour
after.
from Stranger Things joins Neil Blomkamp's Gran Turismo movie. Quote, Harbour will be
He's
playing
playing
a
the
retired
car.
driver who teaches a teen how to drive.
Close enough.
The Last of Turismo.
Jesus
I actually
Christ.
did read the article. It sounded pretty fun. Apparently he's only kind of coach this junior driver to come up to like earn like a super license with like Nissan. And so I was like, oh, that sounds cool. But that was the quote in the tweet. And I was like, that doesn't sound as cool. That sounds like angsty dad, Sony, everything. I'm getting tired of that, but it's just like
Yes.
Sony has really taken the Karate Kid and like just fucking ran with it. It's just Karate Kid, Last of Us, Karate Kid, Uncharted, Karate Kid, fucking God of War, just everything. Let's just keep doing it.
Yeah, you're kind of right. I didn't realize that till you said that. It's just
Oh,
like
it's-
the Karate Kid.
That's a classic plot device. That's not new. It's just been
The
around
Last of Us
forever.
is the next Karate Kid.
But yeah, so I made the joke, angsty PlayStation joke here, but I think it's to be a little bit more than that. So if they really get into like the world of driving, which makes sense with the Gran Turismo name, that's gonna be cool. I want to watch that. It's compelling to me, but I also like F1 and all that shit. So whatever.
It's gonna be Fast and Furious.
We made it through the
Gran
news. We don't have any Rude Days 93, and I have one buy or sell. Listings started to appear on people's dashboards and stuff today for Deathloop. Apparently, it's making its way to the Microsoft Store at some point. So, buy or sell, Deathloop hits Game Pass by the end of this month.
Selling it. It
Buy.
ain't coming.
I
It'll
think
be
so.
here in November.
You know what?
I'm going to sell. I'm going to say it shows up October
I'm gonna
1st.
sell. Cause that's what I was gonna say. October. I just thought about like October to show up.
I'm going to say like October 1st or 7th or that first week. So I'll miss it by a week.
I'm going.
I think if it was going to
Black
show up by
Friday,
the end of the month. No, that's not necessarily true because there's still time. It's only the 14th. I was going to say I think if it was going to show up by the end, then we'd know by now. But that's not necessarily true. There's still a few days left they could show us and still launch it on the 27th or the 30th or something like that. There's still some time, but I'll take the over and I'll just say
October sounds like a good month to put it out.
And gentlemen, we did it. All of those showcases, everything. I still got you here in 2 hours. It's not bad. So
Looks like we made it.
yep. And we don't need the Rude Days 93 jingle from Delvin.
Which I'm sure he still hasn't.
Yeah, you got
perfected.
you got
another week.
saved this week. Got to be ready
Another
next week.
sir. Be ready.
Maybe.
All right. Let's get into these questions. First up, Haley wants to know how long would any of us survive in the world of Yakuza?
Oh, I'd thrive.
Like Donnie said,
Okay. Now,
we
are
wouldn't
we
just
talking about
survive.
the game
We're
universe.
thriving.
We're talking about the game universe or the actual Yakuza.
The world, yeah, like Yakuza. I'm taking it as like
Okay.
obviously we're not going to be in a game.
Right.
I mean, if we went in the
I'm
game, we'd
getting-
all survive. It's a video game.
Yeah.
Well, if we're in the game, well, I'm assuming we're in NPCs or something like that.
I think
I will
she
say this
meant
about
like
Donnie.
if you had
And you're
to
going
be
too.
in the
Yeah, I think you're
yeah.
going too deep on this.
If we're going to the real Yakuza world, I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like this then. Donnie has a 50-50 chance. And I say this because Donnie's either gonna say something and they're gonna immediately love him and he's gonna rise to the ranks, or he's gonna say something that's gonna piss them off and they're gonna really want to kill him.
I thought you might go there. So, and I'm not going to defend myself because I can't say. I mean, I'll let you guys judge me instead of judging myself. But I love mafia stuff way more than most people. I think my wife is a bit disturbed by how much I like it. I'm definitely that person that like glorifies that stuff. And I tell her all the time, like, I absolutely could see myself being in a mob.
Do you know how
1000%.
useful Donnie is? Do you
And
realize how quickly he'd rise through the ranks
to
to become
back
a
up,
mob
to
boss?
back up,
But-
Come
Delvin,
on.
just to back him up. Here's how I
But
thought
this,
about it.
I agree.
If I had to put myself in, because I'll take his 50-50 thing, and here's how I'll look at it. I love this stuff so much, and I think I'd be so down for it. Could you imagine me with like real power? Like if that's how I lived and grew, oh, dude, I could bust up a shop, I could rack it, I could off a person, 100%.
Yes.
So here's the thing: I either think that I would run it or die trying. There's no
that's
in between. I'm
that's
not
my
just
point.
like you're, and I'm happy
Yeah.
to like take orders, but I'm not just like your run of the mill soldier. I'm
Nope.
either at the table or dying trying.
Yeah.
and that's
I
my
think
point.
I think Donnie would do quite well. And
But Donnie has to get in first, and they would have to want Donnie in. That's the key.
again.
Oh, I think you'd want
Did you
me.
not hear me say how useful Donnie is?
Want me more than
I
You
think
most.
can be
he'd be
useful,
fine.
but
I
it's a
think he'd
whole
be fine.
respect thing with the Yakuza. If the Yakuza don't like you, they don't fucking like you, and they're not gonna let you in.
Then we wouldn't even be in the game. We wouldn't even be in Yakuza. That's the other thing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
taking this as assuming like we're already in the world of Yakuza. Like we're in it.
That's
How
not what-
far are we
we're-
going?
We're not in the world.
Are we getting killed right
Okay,
away,
we're
or are
in
we
the world.
working our way up?
If
And
we're
when I say in
I'm
the
down to be
world,
in it.
I don't mean the world game. I mean like we are
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
assuming
Yakuza.
Haley's question, I think, assumes that we have an invite.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
that's what I'm trying to. Okay, if we
That's
have an
what I'm
invite,
thinking.
then okay, that's different.
Yeah. So I'm either
not lasting.
running shit or dying trying.
Look, I'm gonna be the wild card.
And I'm
want
not there
all
for the
black tattoos.
experience. I'm not hanging
Tell
out.
point. I'm the loaded gun. Point me where I got to go. Let me go ahead and off these people so I can get this back tattoo.
Which is why I sent you that GIF, Delvin. I was like, I 100% could be Sunny. I 100% could be Sunny.
I'm telling
Like
you,
if we're
right now.
doing Godfather,
not lasting very
if you were
long
like
at
Donnie,
all.
you're Sunny. I'm like, yeah, it checks out. I get that, and I might go
I'm
out,
not lasting
but I'm
long
going out like Sunny.
at all. They're like, hey, you want to drink some sake? No, I don't drink alcohol. The fuck's wrong with this guy?
Oh, you're getting shot.
Yeah, I'm not lasting long at all.
We'll find you at the bottom of the damn
I-
bottom of the
like
river.
20 minutes.
Wow. Better
Ah.
drink the damn sake.
It's a fun question.
Yeah. TPR says, what game or games shown over these showcases from the past week did the Twitterverse find mid, but you guys thought looked rad as hell? He himself has to go with Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. He's hype as hell
They found that
for
mid.
more Kirby.
More Kirby, baby. To take a weird answer approach this answer, like I have blown up my entire Twitter experience over the last few weeks, month. So I don't really know what I think what a lot of other people are thinking. I am kind of like segregating a lot of that stuff. So I don't know what people thought looked mid.
Yeah, I'm with Donnie. I have absolutely no idea, nor do I really care what the Twitterverse thought or the internet thought of any of
I
the
bet-
games shown. So I don't have an answer for that.
I mean, I saw some people in our Discord and I saw some people in Sean's Discord. And I did see a couple of the Nintendo outlets that I still follow, like with Fire Emblem. So maybe that would be for mine because I'm getting that collector's edition. I'm in day one pre-order, so that's hype. And I don't think a lot of people are hyped for Fire Emblem. So I'll say that one.
Yeah. I really didn't see anybody really say anything was mid. The only thing I heard was Donnie's saying complaint about they keep showing all these damn farming games. That's the main thing I really heard.
Well, that's mid. Yeah, Rebecca,
the
I
mid
said it.
thing. But it's not
I
nothing
didn't
I'd be like, oh, I want
watch
to play that.
any of the Nintendo stuff. Only thing I watched was the State of Play. I haven't seen anything else. I don't
Well,
really care about
we
anything
walked
else.
over a bunch of the mid stuff, and that PlayStation Stars thing was mid.
Yes, it was.
But the
Yeah.
problem is we're not hyped for any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not hyped for any of it. I guess.
Only thing-
I guess if you want to say something, I guess the Black Panther Captain America game.
Oh,
You probably see that as mid because they didn't show shit.
yeah, I just don't see anything.
I saw
see nothing.
people. Yeah, I saw people like excited that it's a thing, but I didn't see enough of it to gauge whether people were like, "Oh my god," or "This is trash." Yeah, so I don't
I'm
have
more
an answer
excited
this.
for like isn't EA making an open world Black Panther game? Wasn't that the thing?
Yes.
An Iron Man game? Way more
Has
excited
that
for
been
that.
confirmed?
I don't know.
Is that still
Definitely
rumors? Or?
No, it definitely hasn't been confirmed. It's
I
just a
think
rumor.
they have.
But I think there's a betting chance that those games make it out before Amy Hennig's game does.
Yeah.
I'll take those bets.
I'll take those odds.
I hate ragging on her. And she deserves none of it. I've been doing it since
been able to get.
I've been doing it
anything to
since
come out.
2014. Just keep the train rolling.
Yeah.
Oof, gosh. John 32 says, how many farming sims is the dev excited to play? He says,
Nice
just
one.
kidding. Real question, mostly for Donnie. Do you think the Fire Emblems, and specifically Engage, will live up to the legacy created by Three Houses?
That's interesting. He says legacy.
Legacy doesn't always mean a good thing.
No, I think in his
Yeah.
in his case it does. Three Houses was really popular. And it does put me in a kind of a, I think there's a lot of a nice way of putting this. I think the Switch has reached a popularity status that 3DS and Wii U never did. And I think because of that,
Yes.
some games like Three Houses reached new popularity levels that Awakening and Fates and stuff never did. That said, I don't like Three Houses as much as those other games. So for me, Three Houses isn't like a special game. It's a Fire Emblem game, and it's a really good one. I love Three Houses. I think it was the first one to finish. I think it was the first one through the DLC. So I'm like all about it. I love Three Houses. It's great. But it's not my favorite Fire Emblem game. You know, that's not to say it's bad. It's just not my favorite. So for me, it's not like I don't think of it like as like a pedestal, like a benchmark. But like in terms of sales, I do not think that Engage will reach that. It would have to be really, really good, like amazing story. It's got a review stellar to reach that. And my impression from seeing like Nintendo Life and My Nintendo Report and Game Explain and stuff, my impression from just like the general buzz when the game was shown is that people aren't digging it as much as Three Houses. So probably not, to answer the question as best I can. If I'm reading the tea leaves and predicting, probably not. But I might like it more. I might like it more than Three Houses. I hope others do too.
Kyle the Pug says, what was your favorite moment from the State of Play showcase, and why was it the God of War PS5 controller?
It wasn't that.
That wasn't
No,
their favorite
it was
moment.
not.
Nope.
That wasn't their favorite moment.
But seriously, was
That
there anything
controller's
apart
mid.
from God of War Ragnarok and Tekken 8 that piqued your interest?
Yeah, the driving game.
The Ronin thing. that
Nah,
was it.
not really. Yeah. God of
I'll
War.
probably
I
play
already seen
the-
God of War.
I'll probably play the Stellar Blade or whatever. I'll probably play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
God of War looked dope.
God of
It does
War,
look
yeah.
it does look a bit angsty, and I will tell you, after watching the whole trailer, I was like I'm really excited to play God of War, but I am kind of growing tired of this. It's like, oh,
It doesn't really bother me at all.
can't we
I'm
just
kind
have
of
some
excited-
fun?
Kind of
Can't
excited
they
to
just
see
both
where
be
it
fun and
goes.
badass? We got to do this, but I get it. It's the
Yeah.
story. I'm ready
Yeah.
to finish it. Trailer looked great. Like
It
just
did.
all the environments and all the different stuff we saw within the trailer. The content of the trailer was incredible. It's got an amazing tagline that everybody loves, right? The quote. So, Tombstone quote, what is it?
Death can have me when it earns me, or something like
That's
that.
it. Yeah, nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cool trailer. Kratos is such a badass.
Yeah.
Wish we could just off the kid or get rid of the kid.
I kind of like the kid.
Oh, of course you do.
He just kind of throws a little monkey wrench into everything. It's interesting. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. We're excited for God of War and maybe Stellar Blade. Maybe. It's kind of mid show. Kind of a mid show.
It was fast.
It was, which
I do like that.
appreciate.
They didn't waste any time. They got on
Yeah.
with it. Even the
Skip through it.
PlayStation Thars thing was like, yeah, we're doing it. You're not going to like it. Here it is. And we're out. Like, they really give you a whole lot of time to think or ponder about stuff. They
Waste
kind of
of
moved
time.
on.
Yep, I love
Yeah,
it.
it was nice.
Be brief, be good, be gone.
Yeah. And I know a lot
That's
of
how you should do
people,
it.
like on the Nintendo Direct side, I think a lot of people are criticizing the Direct for not, like, especially Zelda. Zelda was very brief. They didn't show a lot. And there are a lot of other games in that Direct that the same thing. And I think a lot of people are like, could have used more information. I'm sure. And I think that's a fair critique. I do. But I think there is a balancing act there. You don't want to spend too much time because then you bore people. And I think these events are releases. They're announcements. They're not gameplay. They're not breakdowns. They're not previews.
Right.
They're announcements. And I think announcements are best kept short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow that shit. Like Bayonetta was perfect.
Till May.
In the Bayonetta thing, they were like,
out.
here's Bayonetta, and it's a new thing. And look how cool Bayonetta is. And then they were like, there's an 8-minute gameplay trailer on our YouTube right now. We're not going to show it to you here. We're just going to show you the Bayonetta's here and remind you that it's coming out, and we keep moving on about the announcements. Yeah, it's supposed to be about announcements. Just do announcements.
You're plugging the link.
Yeah.
Here's this thing coming out. If you'd like to know more, we have it for you over here.
I know Andre was saying that. He's from Game Explain, and he's a great like Nintendo voice. And I even said I agree with him. I think he's right to point it out. I was like, but I also still love the Direct. I think both of those things can be true. I was like, I still love that it was quick and fast and we didn't get a lot of information. But he's still right. It's a good critique.
Moving right along. Stingray X says, so who is Team Gear, Grub, or Fun?
This is
Team Gear.
This is bonkers. So this is the Splatfest. You know, with the new Splatoon Splatfest, they have 3 teams instead of 2. So I believe the theme for this, he didn't put it in this question, but I believe the theme for this is, what are you bringing to a deserted island? Are you bringing gear? Are you bringing grub, food? Are you bringing fun? That doesn't check out. That's stupid.
So are you strategic? Are you trying to keep people fed, or are you the life of the party and let's just get buck wild?
I mean, we're #Team Grub, sub for Grub, Jeff Grubb. I knew he had to pop hard for that. Like when he saw Grub, I was like, and I wasn't watching him. I was just watching the Direct. But when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, Jeff Grubb's going to go nuts. So yeah, #Team Grub. Even though I'm not sure if you guys noticed, no Wind Waker, no Twilight Princess. Oh, him and Mikey are taking it on the chin this week. They were so out of it. They were going to other shows saying everybody they were going to be there, and they were not there. I feel bad for them.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's
also
tough.
Do not care.
You should. Wind Waker's amazing.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. I'm team get this the hell off my timeline. Moving on.
Lord,
69 Whiskey says, what's your expectations for the new Call of Duty beta dropping this week?
Wouldn't know. It's not dropping for me this week. So the fuck do I know? What do I care?
Didn't know there was a new Call of Duty beta dropping, and it's multiplayer.
PlayStation
so I don't
only.
give a fuck.
PlayStation only this week. Drops to Xbox and Steam the following week, and that's when I can play.
I'm not playing the multiplayer, so
I'll play a little bit.
Care.
I'll take it for a spin.
You played it?
I might.
Wait a minute, didn't they say in the beta that we could play like some of the campaign? Wasn't that a thing?
I thought that
Campaign
was
early
further
access.
I thought that was like
was that another beta?
A week. I think the early access.
Oh,
for the
you're
campaign,
right.
I thought it was a week before the game comes out.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so they can get all these campaign people out of the way and just flood the multiplayer day one.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. So I'll still take the multiplayer for a spin. I mean, hell, I bought the game. I might as well enjoy the perk, right?
Yeah.
Free to play Joe says, do you think Rayman joining Mario is the start to us getting a Rayman game again? Perhaps a Mario Rabbit crossover?
I didn't put that in my notes, and I should have, and I apologize. But yeah, so Mario Sparks of Hope is getting 3 DLC expansions. So like the last one, the Mario Rabbids game, only got the one, the Donkey Kong one. This one's getting 3, and they did tease a special character that's joining in the first DLC, I believe, and it was Rayman. So Rayman is coming to Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I should have put that on my notes, and I didn't.
That's cool.
No. My answer is no. I would love another Rayman game. The last Rayman game on Wii was awesome. But I'm going to say no. I think Ubisoft, I guess, unless Netflix. You know what? I'm going to change my answer. Yes. There will be an exclusive Rayman game coming to Netflix.
Oh, God.
That you can only play on Netflix. I mean, and the reason I say that, part of me is being an asshole, but honestly, my real honesty reason for giving you that is Ubisoft is not interested in building smaller games and selling them. Every Ubisoft game that they're making have tails. They add DLC to them. They add expansions. They've got skins. They sell microtransactions. That's their business model. They're not making Valiant Hearts and Child of Light and Rayman anymore. And I would love to be proven wrong. I would love nothing more than to see a full-blown Rayman game. I just don't think we are. I don't believe that. I think we're getting The Division and Assassin's Creed, apparently 9 of them, and Far Cry and Rocksmith and Just Dance. Like, that's what they're doing. I don't think they're doing Rayman anymore. But maybe Netflix
brings them money.
Yeah, maybe Netflix will buy Rayman. I think Rayman. I think putting Rayman in Mario Rabbids is smart. Maybe they could put Rayman in a Mario game.
That'd be cool.
Like, what if there's a Mario game in the future and they put there's a Rayman in that? That would be neat. Because right now we're like, how can Ubisoft mix up with Nintendo stuff? But it'd be cool if this relationship worked the other way one day. What if they put Rayman in Mario Kart? What if there's the next Mario Kart is Rayman or something? That'd be neat.
Just let Nintendo make a Rayman game. There you go.
Yeah, right. That'd be better too.
Yeah, just let them make a Rayman game. They probably could do something with it.
Sell Rayman to Xbox. They're buying all kinds of shit these days.
Yeah.
I've never played a Rayman game, so I have nothing to add to this whatsoever.
I bet you have the last one, the Wii U one. I bet you have it in your library.
Which one's
somewhere.
the Wii U one?
That's what I was just about to say, because
I don't have a Wii U.
It came to everything.
Origins.
No. It was a Wii U exclusive for a couple years, but they eventually brought it to everything. It's probably in your library.
Is that Returns?
I can almost guarantee. Was it a PS Plus thing?
Probably was. Rayman Legends is the name.
Okay, Legends.
And Rayman Legends is dope. You should play. It's fun.
Donnie, you know I don't give a shit about platformers. You know,
come on, man. They got the Black Betty level.
I don't care.
Oh, it's so good.
Hudson will play it. I'll let him play it. He'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah,
I have
look it up. I would be interested to know if it's in your Steam library
whatsoever,
or your Epic library or your PlayStation library.
If anything, it'll be in PS Plus. If it came to PS Plus,
yeah, I bet it is. It's probably in there, and you don't even know it. It's good though. It's really good.
It's
a fun game. Good platform.
I believe you. It's just not for your boy. Well, thank you.
That was one of the Ubisoft did. What was the other? Was it Scribblenauts? Does Ubisoft do Scribblenauts? They don't do Scribblenauts, right?
I think they did.
I want to say they did, because I remember having so many of those just stacked up in a corner when I worked in the gaming.
I was going to say, I think Ubisoft did Scribblenauts, Assassin's Creed 3, Zombie U, and Rayman, all for the Wii U, all at launch, or in that first launch window, that first year. Ubisoft showed up for the Wii U hard. Just Dance
sure did.
Was there. They were we are all about it. And then the Wii U's didn't sell for 2 years, and they were like, we don't know what that is. And then all those games showed up everywhere else.
Came to PS Plus, so I probably do have it. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. You should give it a try.
I will.
Yeah.
Just play the Black Betty level. Just the first, it's the first 2 levels.
No, thank you.
Please?
No.
I bought your kid a game. You can't play a level?
You did. I'll let him play and watch him play it and be like, this is
okay,
not for me.
Fair enough. Let him play it.
I don't know if you guys. Just because it was Warner Brothers doesn't mean Ubisoft didn't make it.
Publisher, Warner Brothers, and developer Fifth Sail.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm looking at.
Did you guys answer this question already? What is one thing you'd want to improve about the Teely remake from Delvin Jr.?
We answered it on PSXP because he said the same question there. So if you guys want to answer it, you can answer it. No, I already answered on PSXP. So
an easy answer would be the bugs and stuff, but they're gonna fix all that. That's not a real answer. They're gonna do that.
I can't think of anything to improve. I mean, I haven't run into any bugs, but
no, I said it in my review, and I'll just say it now again.
Mm-hmm.
I think an improvement to the Last of Us remake would to unlock more of those extras that are in this game that aren't in the other ones. There's a lot of game modifiers, a lot of the skins, not all of them, but just some of them, half of them. Let people have fun with it, make it different for them beyond the upgrades. I think would have been smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That'd have been cool just to have that stuff available.
The director's
instead of having to beat the game
commentary, like
first.
I would have liked to have played the game with the director's commentary on. You know,
Yep.
the documentaries, the shit's on YouTube. You can watch this stuff for free on YouTube. Why is it locked? Why do you have to beat the game to watch it on the menu? You know, those people may not know that they're on YouTube, but like you could. I'm just of the belief that there are people that probably like me. And I'm not trying to say that everybody's like me. I'm not trying to say that, but I just think it's probably a common thing for gamers. I think we're all conditioned a little bit. When you start a new game, at least I know I do. I go into the menus. Like, it's only the first thing I do is I open up the menus and I just start trying to set things up the way that I want them, right? I turn subtitles on, you set your difficulty, you do your things. You set up your adjustments, your sticks or your auto aim or whatever you do. I do that almost every time I play a game. And to get into those menus and see how much stuff was there and that it was all locked and that I couldn't do any of it. Stuff that I've already seen and done. I was like, I understand why they want to lock it like as an achievement, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially for a game, again, that is a re-release.
Yeah.
The majority of people that are buying The Last of Us have probably already played it. I think that's probably fair. At least half, like 50% of the people buying it have probably already played it before. So
Indeed.
let them go nuts with it. Let them change Ellie's shirt or Joel's backpack and listen to the developer's commentary and have a gold machine gun or whatever. Like, you know, let them have some fun with it. That would have been a lot of fun to add to your replay. And I just don't know if all of those people are going to replay the game again to enjoy it. How many of those people beat the game and never boot it up again? Most people. How many people don't even reach the end? Achievements tell us most people. So they'll probably never even go into those menus again. Like, you had one time to get them. They probably never open them again. And I think that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Well, that's going to do it for episode, what is this, 54?
Something like that.
54, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
So feel free to check us out over on the Twitters at PSVG. Subscribe on our YouTubes at youtube.com/PSVG Network. Feel free to check us out over on the Discord. And hey, we have a Facebook group now, so check us out there as well.
So we're old.
So yeah, we are old. Yeah. That's gonna do it for us here. Until next time, play some video games.